After we do the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance, then we'll turn this portion over to our interim city manager to lead us in our workshop discussion. So at this time, I call this community workshop of the city of Pahokee to order at 6:40 p.m. May we please stand for the invocation provided by Commissioner Mervin, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father, God, in the name of Jesus, God, we want to thank and praise you, God, for this day. For this is the day, God, that you have made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. God, we want to thank you and praise you, God, for bringing us here this far. God, we ask you, oh God, that you led us, oh God, to do business of the city, oh God, that we could be able to work together, God. Give us wisdom, give us guidance. And God, we ask, God, that you be in the midst, oh God. God, we ask God to bless our community, our citizens, our commissioners, our mayors, and city staff, oh God, that we can come together, oh God, and be of one mind and of one body. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And again, this would be an informal meeting, but we will have roll call by our city clerk.
Mayor Bass,
Present.
Vice Mayor Bowman,
Present.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Present.
Commissioner Morrison,
Present.
Commissioner Perez,
Present.
Interim City Manager,
Present.
City Attorney,
She said she wouldn't be attending.
Acting City Clerk, present.
Again, this is a community workshop. The interim city manager will be providing some general information and giving us information on our proposed projects for fiscal year 2021. So at this time, I turn this portion over to our city manager, and he would guide us and lead us in the workshop discussion.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
So in your handout, you have a white page. It's a little more detailed, and on pages 5, 6, and 7, I'll be asking community for their input after reading things through that section. So on the PowerPoint up here, our goal is to set and reshape the city of Pahokee over the next 3 years. Next slide. So what we're starting is the annual operating process, and this will be for the fiscal year 2021 through 22. We are in the process of doing management input as staff, and then next it'll be, we went to the commission retreat yesterday, and now we're going to be doing a series of public workshops, and eventually by September we'll be doing an adoption of all those resolutions for the budget and discussions. Next slide. So we're looking at having an organizational chart once it's approved by the commission over the next couple commission meetings. We're looking at, on the pie chart here, the citizens of Pahokee being the main valued piece here, commissioners who answer to them because they had voted them in, city manager who's over the operations, the city attorney, city clerk who are hired by the commissioners, and then these are the departments: human resource, community and economic development, parks and rec, planning and zoning, finance, public service. And then what's contracted out is the county sheriff department and the fire. Next slide. So our current budget here that you see in the PowerPoint is as of April 30th for the community. The ones in attendance now also were able to come to the retreat and have a better idea. Over the next 2 weeks, I'll get an updated, hopefully through June, the next 2 months, to get to City Commission and out to the public, or place it on the city website. So, starting into community, the next slide. Starting to community input, we're looking at achieving these 5 goals or objectives. And that's foster sustainable growth and development, ensure our quality of life, lead with environmental stewardship, improve our infrastructure, embrace financial accountability and transparency. That is also open to commissioners' input when it comes time to vote this in through a resolution. So you guys can look through this, and then we'll have a discussion at the end. Next slide. So the next slide here is of our city needs for the 4th quarter, which is on page 4. So basically, to finish out July, August, September, this is what we're saying as a staff to the city commissioners, and we're letting the public know. Now, the next slide. Coming up, these are things that we'd like to know input from the community. The commissioners hadn't chimed in, so in voting on the things. So right now, as you guys look through this, now we have 2 types of themes out there. We got the grassy water gateway to Lake Okeechobee, building a city and community of choice. So I didn't know which one to continue to use, but that's where I'm seeking, input from you guys, or we go another direction with another tag or theme. And we have public, or we can, put it out to the public for more input. Brand options. I listed 5. There may be more, but which one do we want to lead in, or do we want to consider all 5? It's just an option of things for us to start focusing and moving strategically with as a team. So I just put out like a cluster, if you will. So we see how everyone wants to move, and then the commissioners vote. So I have down here agriculture community, bedroom community to West Palm Beach, industrial, technology, tourism. So things to mull over. Types of business for us as staff to recruit. Also, I know commissioners always are looking for the next best thing for the community. What types of businesses do you want to recruit to Pahokee? So I just kind of did it theme-wise. Garden center, major restaurant like a Applebee's, bowling alley, movies, auto repair facilities, airplane shuttle or helicopter service, fishing, boating and jet ski rentals, outdoor theme park, gator park, farmers market. So that's something for us to mull over. Next slide. Then here you have vision and values. So respecting the past, focus on the future. That's getting into a statement. If you like it or not, we can do away with it. I'm not fond of it, like married to it, committed. It's all about getting information, get the brain going so we can move forward with how do we want to repurpose or reimagine Pahokee. That's just kind of where we at. We have some things that's happened. Now we want to get back on track and then eventually get Pahokee up to where we're at the #1 spot. So, purpose, I have here, the city of Pahokee provides protections, nurtures and cares for its community of residents, businesses, visitors, and supporters. We create and sustain the best quality of life for the people that are the fabric of our entire community. Within that, we are the heart of the Okeechobee Lake community and utilize that presence to foster the improvement of our entire city and all its residents. Like it, don't like it, just need to know, so how we feel like we want to trim it down, it's the information out there for it. Next slide, mission. I like the one statement of inspiring a vibrant community. The city of Pahokee is a premier destination. That's our end goal. I've heard so many times from the commissioners that how can we invoke tourism? How can we get people to come here? So both to visit and to live, our community is rooted in a rich history, committed to time-honored values, and dedicated to an evolving, promising, and sustainable future. We embrace tradition and diversity equally to maintain a truly unique environment and character. We celebrate our role as the agriculture heartbeat of the sugarcane, cabbage, corn, and citrus economies, culture, geographic, and passionate about our fostering a diverse, innovative, and culturally vibrant population. We can definitely cut that down. I was just inspired at the moment. Commissioner's mission statement. So a lot of cities are moving to where the commissioners have their say of what they want to say in a mission and what they're trying to achieve. So the City Commission of the City of Pahokee is dedicated to providing the citizens, businesses, and visitors with quality services that ensure a city lifestyle to want to work, live, and play in Pahokee. So whatever we want to do to adjust that or live with it, we're seeking your input from the community. Vision, the City of Pahokee strives, next slide, okay, thank you. The City of Pahokee strives to maintain a uniquely desirable and sustainable community. We are unique because of our people, our grand natural resources, public amenities, leadership, diversity, and hometown atmosphere. We will continue to conserve, preserve, and manage our precious resources, including Lake Okeechobee and its unique rampant habitat. Next slide, core values. So there's a lot of movement to go towards values and how people are operated. These core values will also be reflective in our performance evaluations as we move forward. So when we look at what are these things, how they're being done, it'll be based on honor everyone, demonstrate respect for all persons, loyalty to the team, vision, mission, and objectives, inclusion, diversity, transparency, stewardship, be good stewards of agency funds, empathy, care about people, understanding, non-judgmental, respect individual strengths, embrace diversity, professionalism always, maintain a positive attitude and a pleasing personality, and last, teamwork, cultivate a we environment, be passionate team player. So that gets us through that part. So I've covered pages 5, the 6, and the 7 there. And then in your sheet here, there's a capital improvement of 5 pages. Now this is laying out the next 5 years. So from this fiscal year, from the next fiscal year starting October 1, which would be fiscal year 2021-22. So you see we have monies there on page 1 for a feasibility study. You see that we have storm water drain improvement, First Street. We have water main replacement, Barfield Highway, 7th Street. Storm drain covers, Phase 2, Glades area, Phase 5, Glades area, McClure Water Road construction, Phase 2. Lattimore Road reconstruction, Reardon Avenue reconstruction. Oh, okay, I'm sorry for my draw there. Okay, so Barfield Highway reconstruction, sidewalk improvements. Then we got on page 2, Parks and Recreation, including Marina, Martin Luther King Park, the upgrade. You see things there, Martin Luther King Park improvements, parking lot resurfacing. Page 3, striping, baseball field, fencing, LED lighting, concession stand upgrades, restroom upgrades. Commissioners Park, splash pad, value system, Commissioners Park expansion, Marina Park, Public Park North Side, Marina upgrades, docks, LED lights, fuel tanks, page 4, camera securities, upgrades, harbor master enhancements, fencing, security, and what's that, dredging? Dredging. All right, and then, so on page 4, Marina Campground Pool. Then on down, Pahokee City Hall at 207. Renovation of the old Pahokee High School for City Hall. You see that covers over a 3-year period. Renovation, old Pahokee High School, new City Hall structural renovations, 1st and 2nd floor. On page 5 here, code enforcement. And then page 6, we have a marquee for City Hall. We can try to do next year, this upcoming fiscal year, 21-22. Let's see here. Entryway signage. We want to look at a couple of signage points to brighten up and bring people into Pahokee. LED street lights. So, and that pretty much is it. So, Commissioners, Mayor, any things you guys want to chime in on that us staff need to double check, or we'll discuss on Tuesday, or I can get with you guys one-on-one too. But public, if there's any, you guys just, do you have?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
All these figures, is this money that we're getting? Is this money that we're gonna try to get? Is this money that we have? These figures here, what are all these figures?
So these are tied to either the general fund, or it'll tell you like Palm County district surtax. It tells you the funding we're going to use to the side. In the far right-hand corner where it says purpose funding. So what page you on, Commissioner?
I was just looking at all of them and I saw the different figures and different years.
Okay, so look in the far right-hand corner, and we got like, so for example, page 2 on the capital improvement element schedule. Very top one, Lattimore Road reconstruction. So we're saying we're going to get started in 23-24 for 1.5 million. Over the next 3 years, from 23 to 26, we're using FDOT. What's a scope?
Scope is the funding source that it is coming from, so it's SCOT, it's called SCOT money.
SCOT, okay.
Or either EDTF dollars. And if I may, so where you see proposed budget, it's either we're using this surtax, general fund, or for instance with Lattimore, that application has already been submitted to FDOT. So we know that that's FDOT funds that will be provided. You may see one on there that says DEP. For instance, MLK Park, we've already been awarded the $250. That's Department of Environmental Protection. So it's DEP. If you look at the marina where we have dredging, that means we're going after the dollars. So either those dollars have not been identified but we know that's an area that you all are interested in looking at, that the residents know that there's a need, so then it means that we, streamline and streamline focusing on certain grants or certain dollars, because there may be things that come up within the next 5 years that a funding source may open up, and we can say, okay, we got money here, because as you know, yesterday, Mr. DeRita did say a lot of, since times have changed, we have to match. So that means either finding another private source or another grant source that we can match it.
Okay, like right here where it says marina upgrades, this is schedule number 3. It says Palm Beach County surtax DEP clean vessel grant. And the year 24-25 and 25-26, there's 5 million, well, actually, 23-24, 24-25, and 25-26, there's 5 million on each. I know that the Palm Beach County surtax, we don't got that many years left, and even if we do, it's not gonna be, it's gonna be like in the 300s. So the DEP Clean Vessel Grant, is that where we're getting the 5 million, 5 million, 5 million?
So if, as I said, those certain years, it may not be funding from all of that one source. It may take other sources. Partly, those are identified funding streams. So DEP or surtax, we already have a schedule of surtax. So it doesn't necessarily mean that $5 million is coming out of surtax. It just is breaking down the cost, the average of what we know we may need to fix whatever.
So actually, this is what we think we're gonna need and where we think we're gonna get it from. Okay.
And that's why it says proposed, because it doesn't mean it's in writing. We're proposing and looking forward to the future. So when we're sitting down with you all, we know, okay, here's grant funds that will be coming up in 2021. Clean vessel grant funds, dredging grants. Those are the things that we will, funding streams that we can go after to take care of those areas.
So one of the things we haven't had an opportunity to do, or maybe it's been done before I got here, is having an engineering or architect firm generate what's that value of what it's gonna cost to do it based on renderings and things like that, from the vision of all 5 of you coming together and saying, here's what we don't want. My main focus right now is to get it up and running, so we got some issues to correct. One of those issues is I got 3 piers or docks that need substantial repairs that were damaged since 2005, 8, and on from hurricanes. So we got to address a lot of things.
If I may, some of that is mitigation too. So it's not necessarily just fixing things in the past, it's making things better. And so there's funds that could be available to assist with us making things better so that, God forbid, another bad storm comes, it won't impact that area as much because we've kind of circumvented that with new and improved technology.
Are you done?
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. As Commissioner Perez pointed out, I see a lot of, like on every page, just about, I see Palm Beach County discount surtax. That's our 1% or 1 penny tax?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, as she said, we are only getting, what, 300 and change this year? We've already committed 135 to the field, correct? How many years do we have left on that?
I don't remember the exact amount of how many years, I believe maybe it's 3, about 2 or 3. 2 or 3, but mind you, when we submitted the surtax, the list, we had to identify certain areas.
Mhm.
So as I said, there may be a couple things in there that we can use, even if it's $5,000. That's gonna cover a certain portion. As Mr. Lucas stated, having that engineer to already have plans, give us plans, give us the drawings, because that's part of what we need when we go after those certain amount, those dollars. having the permits in place. So all that is a part of that process that we need to submit. So making sure we have the funds for that. And again, that's just a general idea of what we're looking at. It doesn't mean that is the cost. It doesn't mean that's exactly, but those are just some areas where we may be able to have funding already available or can identify.
And on the first page where it says feasibility study, what is that for?
So that goes back.
I mean, I know what a feasibility study is, but I'm saying, what are we using?
In our
Comp plan.
we have some feasibility studies that need to be done, a slum and blight, a slum study that needs to be done. So there's a couple of studies that need to be completed as a part of our comp plan.
Okay, and on, when it's on page, I'm sorry, Schedule 2, where it says Rarden Avenue reconstruction, that I would assume for $3 million over here, that would be tear the whole thing up and replace the whole thing? All the way down? Okay.
Or any of those main venues
Mm-hmm,
like that, those are total reconstruction.
okay, that's what I figured based on the price, based on Barfield Highway, okay.
And see, the last time a capital improvement schedule has been done was probably 2019. Is that what you recall, maybe Commissioner Mervin or Mayor? Was it 19 or something? So we've almost gone 2 years without an updated schedule and then to forecast out. So a lot of times, just like when Mr. Larson, investor, banker, was just saying he can go in on our website and look and all that, they'll look and they'll see that, hey, these guys got real projects, maybe I can contribute or partner up. But if it ain't written down, they don't know and it ain't so. So we gotta let people know what we wanna do. So, and as we go along, we'll start filling in more definitively where this money's coming from, if we gotta pay it back, if we have to match the money, because all that's gonna be important if we gotta do matches. So then we're gonna need to have reserves. We're gonna have to put money to the side so that we can start achieving these things. And then I'll get a board, cardboard, and we start writing down what these priorities that you guys soon are gonna set. So.
And do we have any money in capital improvement reserves now?
I saw a few, but I have to have it drawn out reserve, because I didn't see reserve, but I know we have a reserve. I just gotta see what those dollars are, and then that's something in 22 we gotta set is, are we doing 10%, 15%? What gives us 3 months out, 6 months out, in case something goes left? So, you know, we just gotta set
Because I remember, Mayor, and you probably remember this as well, when you were commissioner, I remember many times you talked about reserves and were we holding reserves, and if so, how much, and, yeah, so, I mean, I think that's definitely something.
And if I may, we also, for instance, with our Barfield Highway, those FDOT projects are reimbursed. So we have to have the money there to pay our contractors, to submit that invoice, and
And then-
that turns around and reimburse.
And what's the normal turnaround time on a project like that?
Normal is 25 to 30 days.
Okay,
But
so
you
the
have to
float time
also
is not
keep
too
in
bad.
mind, yeah, if the contractor is based on turnaround time being contractor submitting to the department on time an appropriate and calculated correct pay app.
Mhm.
If that pay app is incorrect, if any of those items are not totaled up correctly, then it goes back and it has to be checked by the CEI, contractor has correct. Then it comes back to us and we balance it with finance before it is submitted, so.
Okay. And then on, hold on, I had a question about, oh, okay, down here on schedule number 4, it says Old Pahokee High School, new City Hall, and all of that. Is that something that we've talked about, or maybe I don't remember?
Those are projects that also have to be mindful that have been just kind of discussed over, since I've been here, that I've heard that's of interest, so it's up to the commission. But just things that I know that we've kind of talked about, we do need a new city hall regardless of whether it is the old high school or a new building. Just to have that down there and have an idea of where we want to go, what we're looking at, what may be the cost. So just a couple of things, because there could be anything from, I would like to add in there completely new curbing and sidewalks throughout the city. That includes striping. So there's things that may not be on there that, as Mr. Lucas said, the commission would like to see. How could we upgrade? Making sure we have maybe pavers in certain areas of the community. So there's a lot of things that can still be added, changed out, revised on there. So it's just a general, what staff has kind of looked like, what we know we have issues with, but it's still room to add on in this 5 to 6 year plan.
And is any of this taken from the 2017 that EDSA did for us?
No, ma'am.
Division?
What we all kind of, each department chimed in with Mr. Lucas. I went back and we looked at our comp plan, so if you notice some of those areas, it makes reference to the comp plan. Areas that we know that because the comp plan has to go before the state, we make sure that that's how we get in line with what those policies are in the comp plan.
Okay, and it says on 2021, 2022, sidewalk improvements, 100,000. Do we have any idea where?
Throughout the area. So where I listed 100,000, right now that identifies 3rd and 4th Street, I believe 4th and 5th Street. And that should be coming to you all very soon, next week. So that, and that will include, so 100,000 may seem like a lot of money for a sidewalk, but that includes the curbing. And because a lot of our sidewalks are really in disrepair, disarray, it includes curbing, it includes the handicap, strolling at the end where you see the yellow. So, it kind of just depends, but we know I have a list of all the sidewalks throughout the community. And that's why I said that plan only covers 5 years, but it's going to take us more than that to cover, because prices are going up, so.
Yeah. And that we're looking to get out of the surtax money, the 100,000.
Right now, for that, where I have 100,000 listed, I know that's surtax that has already been identified for that.
Okay, so the 135 for the field and 100 for this is 235 out of, do we have an idea what we're getting or a ballpark this year?
We have an idea, once we have a finance director, we can stream it, and Ms. Susan, as she said, is assisting us, so we'll have a better idea.
Come budget time?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir?
I would suggest that we go down the list and just kind of briefly discuss each of them. We're really kind of scattering our conversation, and that way the public can also get some input. We're not going to be able to do it in depth, but at least let's take a look at each one of these, give a brief explanation of what it is, and then maybe have a brief discussion from there.
Okay, and now, the qualification to be on this list is $10,000 or more. So anything less than 10, it ain't on here, because it's by ordinance and rule. So just so you guys know. Sorry.
I have a question. Would this be the place, time to speak about the Veteran Memorial Park?
It's however you want to, sir. It's open to, now, I don't know how much, it's going to be, but I imagine it'll be over $10,000.
Right.
So, so if that's something you're seeking, sir, I'll add it to, which section would that go on, page 7?
Under parks.
Yeah,
Parks and Rec.
so that's page 2, okay. Let's see.
3.
So I have a question. Is this the schedule that we're gonna, are these the projects and the schedule we're gonna keep, or is this still to be worked on by priority? If there's anything that we think that needs to go here that is not?
I'm glad you went there. So,
Thank you.
this is our schedule of things from now for the next 5 years. Prioritizing, we got to get into that, because we can go deep where we can say, here's events we want to do, here's things we want to do. We haven't even really tore into it. But this here is not so much a priority as it is stretching our budget to say we want these capital improvements done. For what you want to prioritize as the needs or you want to see, we can get on the board, and that's why we're seeking input before we jump into the 22 budget year, so we'll know what numbers to start putting in place, based on that priority.
Okay, so like infrastructure, where will that come in? Because I think the roads, the sidewalks, all that,
Okay, so
it's not only for the residents' improvement, but it's also needed if we're gonna, we expect to bring new business. We gotta look good. We gotta be structured right.
I agree.
If you notice on there's projects that are already in the works, that's on your list.
Yeah, it's the
Farmville Highway.
streets.
But, even with the streets, if you notice, I have sidewalks down there that include those streets. I have, 210 phase 4 are the streets. Those are the smaller streets that get resurfacing. Those are EDTF dollars. And that's a certain pocket of funds that come from FDOT. And it does not ever exceed $210. That's already been approved for the Glades area from the legislature. So there are I have a list of streets that have been prioritized that we know going out with
What's
public
that?
works. Sorry.
All right, here's an idea for, if you will, Mayor. Let's do as you said, go through page 1 through 6. We got the end of this quarter to get through. So you guys can say, okay, to finish out July, August, September, from this capital schedule, can we do these things? Can we do the potholes? Let's just get into it and see where we get. Is that okay?
Yes.
Is that pretty much what you were getting towards, Mayor? Let's do that and see, and then you bring up your, what you want to see. So Mayor, let's go through Schedule 1, page 1 of this sheet here. What you want? Is this one or the PowerPoint? Schedule?
I don't know if I'm in order, out of order, but before we go through this, are the citizens allowed to say something that they would like to see on there, or are we just going by what's on the sheet for now?
Well, Mayor had just made a suggestion, let's start with the capital improvement, and then as soon as that, Mayor, you'll open it up to the public, right?
Yeah, actually, even the public can chime in, even during this part of
Okay.
the discussion if need to.
There's a mic right there. Huh? Sure. You need help?
Good evening. My name is Sanquetta Cow, and I live at 1548 Singletary Avenue. What I would like to see added on is a pool for the community, for the children can have something to do, where they're getting ready to tear the old house down over here by the Commissioner's Park. I would like to see that added for a pool for the children.
Isn't that
For
on
the community.
On the capital improvement list?
It's on here?
Calvin, it says up under Commissioner's Park expansion.
Mm-hmm.
I just put expansion, so then that way,
Sure.
I know a pool is something that everyone is interested in.
Okay.
So that's why I put expansion, just, and then we can run from there, and whatever you all would like to
Okay.
see is finding the resources.
Okay, that's what I want, like to see that. Thank you.
So we'll
Yes,
just-
sir. All right, page 1 of the schedule, the capital improvement element schedule. Feasibility study, basically under our comp plan, we have to say, what I help with recruitment is how are we configured as a city for agriculture, for commercial, for multifamily. But we gotta kind of redirect some properties to get growth and people to come in. Also, it's been mentioned by both the mayor and Commissioner Gonzalez about annexation. So these are things that we have to understand and have a study drawn on. So, but that's something that I can put out to bid and see what real cost that would be. We just put a figurehead of 50,000. Maybe it's really done at 15. I don't know yet. It depends on, our city's not that big, so we're only at 5.3 square miles. So, and that'll come out of general fund, so maybe I have to finish looking at the definition of surtax and what we can use for that money, or what sources or expenditures are allowed. So let me tear into that, and I'll bring it back to you on what, other than general fund, for 50 grand for our comprehensive plan feasibility study.
You said we have 5.3 square miles in the city?
Yes, ma'am.
The city actually have, what square miles did you say?
5.3 is what I've always
Yeah.
been told.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, and also next, stormwater drainage improvement, First Street. That's a 2-year thing down the road.
I have a question about that. Didn't we just do the stormwater drains on First Street? Isn't that the piping that they just put in?
Yes, ma'am. So, and that's actually a typo.
Okay,
That is a typo.
so we should scratch that one out?
But there is, yes, scratch
Okay.
that first. But,
So what we're replacing it with?
there are certain areas that we still, and we will have to, I apologize. The county has done a map that they have forwarded over, so there's certain areas that have been identified that we know may still have some drainage issues. So, I don't know if Public Works has anything to time in.
Is that the pipe that's laying up there on the empty lot? Isn't there a bunch of blue pipe laying
Those
up
for
there?
Barfield.
Is that for
Yeah.
Barfield?
Barfield.
Okay, all right.
But that's areas that we still are looking at, but we do have to.
The commissioner asked about a replacement out in Shive Island. There's a serious drainage problem out there, especially when it rains
Yes.
a lot. And it's been done for several years now.
Chive
Talking about the rear, at the back.
Island?
Shive Island.
Chive.
That's
Back
one
in the
I told you
back,
about.
Commissioner Gonzalez, are you talking about
Is
the
that,
one back in
is
the
that
back?
stormwater, Mayor?
Yes,
Stormwater.
Is that the same one that's on the corner of Apple and,
Island.
that's across from Paget Island.
no, I know what shop, I'm talking about, is that where the Apple and Shive Drive meet up in the
Yeah,
corner?
as soon as
Oh,
you turn
on the-
down the hill, that whole First Street right there.
Right, yeah, cause, yeah, that's the one that gentleman was telling me, I was telling you about the
Okay.
gentleman was talking about.
How about the one that?
Backyard?
Yeah.
You know, when you turn,
No, the one over there where they're supposed
Actually,
to be
too, the
working
county
at.
did some work there and it's
Huh?
added to the problem. I don't
one
know
was
if some of the
real bad,
drainage
supposed to be doing.
got clogged due to the work that was done there, but it
The
made the
pipe in the
problem
ground is
a lot
still-
worse than what it
Right.
originally was.
And I don't know if you're aware of 14th Terrace and 14th Street, they have some, major drainage problems out there. We physically seen it, it was caked with
their drains are
muds.
all clogged up there
Yeah,
on
rocks and dirt,
14th Street and
plants.
14th Terrace. And then it's supposed to drain into that canal, apparently, that we own. We own that canal back there, the city does. But the
So-
drain is all clogged up.
So, help me understand a couple of things, Mayor and Vice Mayor. So, do we ever do improvements to the storm lines called slip line, where you kind of increase the flow of bringing in or I guess dissipating the water, so that's not building up. You dig a little deeper, and then you got all the little drainage points, and it makes things a whole lot better, and you got less flooding. Do they do that down here?
Do we do
I'm not
that?
sure the scope of that.
You should know.
Do you know, Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Johnson?
They do,
The microphone.
Going back to Shive Island, the whole front up there, it floods. We can't even cut the grass when the rainy season comes.
Right,
You know, you live out there.
right,
Reason being, that whole thing up there was a canal.
right.
Oh,
They
okay.
covered
Old
it up.
canal.
They covered it up, and that's why we had flooding like that. They did put some slip pipings underground. They put some under there so it can flow all the way down to the other end, going towards Streamline. But some kind of way it done got broke up somewhere where it's done smashed the pipe, and it's not flowing at all.
The pipe actually go like under
Under.
State Market Road?
Yes,
Oh.
over to the other big
Over
canal.
to that canal
Right.
over there. Okay.
So that's why we having all the flooding like that. It done smashed somewhere in there, we don't know, and all the flooding is there.
Oh, you're referring to the front end?
The front end.
Yeah, I'm referring to the back end where Shive Drive and Apple meet in the corner.
Oh, that's with that one, with Corey Ferguson. lived.
Yes, yes, that one.
Okay, the guy that lived on the end there covered that canal up, covered that part up, and that's why we having that flood. We was out there last year trying to dig it out so the water can flow through there. And the guy that's living in that first trailer, he covered that up. He shouldn't have covered that up. It was a drainage that went under the canal, under the road, and went over to the big canal over there.
Correct.
Right.
So if we dug that out and put pipe in and then let him
Yeah,
cover
right.
it back up, would
Yeah.
that?
Right
would
now,
that-
it's kind of hard because we don't have a backhoe. We get a backhoe, it's real tight in there,
Mhm.
and it's real soggy. We may get stuck, might have to have called mouse to get us out. We need something smaller to get in there, and they got so many trees, you got to go in and out.
Yeah, most of these major drainage problems, though, you're gonna have to have some professional help do it. The public work can do a Band-Aid effect to kind of lessen the problem, but this is why we're probably trying to add it to our list of things that really need to be done.
It should all be done.
Yeah.
It should all be done, upgraded, updated.
Well, I think
Probably
it's
been-
good what he's telling us though, because if we went in and, like you said, fixed the main street, but then you still got this other
Yeah.
problem, you almost have to go in and do them both at the same time to actually alleviate the problem,
And
correct?
that's what actually happened when they came in and did the resurfacing of Shive Island. They cut it out but never replaced the piping.
Right.
So when they came back with the asphalt, it actually crushed the pipe that runs from that guy, the house over across the street. So when I went out there, the pipe is actually crushed. And so the water is not, and now from when the guy got the excess dirt from when it was digging, he went in his backyard and dug, and now trees and all is going through the little pipe, and the water cannot flow. So in Mr. Ferguson yard is backing up in his yard.
Right. It's another thing is-
Everybody
So
in that
actually the whole
cul-de-sac.
thing has to be,
Yeah.
fixed.
Everybody
Plus,
in that
the
cul-de-sac.
slope is all wrong. The slope has to have a higher slope going towards, facing towards the ditch to go underneath that.
We just got a major infrastructure problem in the
Right.
Pahokee that needs, that's been, you know, for years, and now it's just time to take care of it.
So-
So,
Maybe the
I
best
guess-
thing, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, it's not that. We're all thinking out loud. So, I know we don't own our water and sewer, but we own the storms, but it still would be a good idea to, part of that feasibility study, to look at a master utility.
That's what I
to
was gonna
sit there
say.
and say, okay, even though you guys own all around us, we need slip lining for proper alleviation of flooding. We need pipes replaced. You know, whatever you're saying, what's the priority? That's where I'm trying to get us to go towards. As we go through here, so is Chive Island to correct that?
Shive Island.
Shive, sorry. is that gonna be a priority? Is that something I can put a little dot there until we
That's a
get to?
priority.
That's
So
a-
put an asterisk up there for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so, so
But-
right here where this first street is, that we'll consider that Shive Island, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so,
My thought being, if we had, maybe Mr. Johnson, I'm sure he probably knows most of it, because he's like right on top of this one. If he could identify around town ones that he knows about for sure, and then maybe put them in a list so we could all look at them and then say, okay, we see it, and then we've got a visual in our head to say, okay, when we're doing, I don't know, X, Y, Z over here, and right down the street, we need that fixed too, you know, can we
Okay, so-
combine some things
so-
together and maybe get them done?
so we'll put together in the next week a list of all the storm issues, infrastructure issues, and do a laundry list. Also on top of that, Mayor has, pointed out issues we have with sidewalks, big time. And then the drainage
East Lake.
coverages.
Yes.
They're horrible.
You know, because they got old rotten boards and
Yeah.
things like that, so we need to assess that as well. So that can be a high, so if you can, put on there, Public Works to identify, utility infrastructure issues and sidewalks. Sidewalks and drainage, what's it called, covers.
Yeah, we went out about an hour or two on the 4th of July. I used to brag really about our streets. I know we have a lot of complaints about our streets, but in reality, we have repaved about 60% of our streets, but you still have those 40, and those 40s are really, some of them are in pretty bad condition. So that definitely would help with public work, kind of prioritizing those sidewalks and those
Sidewalks like
storm
down to East
drainage.
Lake. Yeah,
You got a
those
question?
things are nasty.
The one you
East
just-
Lake is
East Lake
really
is the
bad.
worst.
AJ,
I'm
AJ,
looking at the categories on here, the way they're placing things,
come on up to the
and
mic.
it seems to me like you all don't even have to go off the first page, infrastructure, like,
Mhm.
you're talking about priority, you need to only look, because nothing else you do will be any good if the infrastructure is not fixed.
Yeah.
So, instead of sitting here talking about, we're gonna go with
Infrastructure.
only infrastructure, look at it, and each quarter, whatever, you add to that, but right now, nothing else will work unless you get your infrastructure, straightened out.
Can't build.
It's
So I wouldn't
major
even
priority.
go
Yeah.
past this.
Okay, so on our list, where you got the two asterisks, just kind of like loop them together and then say infrastructure. Yeah, there you go. And then,
Because even for new development, you gotta be,
You gotta have
Yeah.
infrastructure.
you gotta have it.
yes,
So
ma'am.
within that, are you gonna focus on the sewer, the drainage first, and then the sidewalks, and then the this, and then the that, like that, right?
We're just going over the list
That's
right
how it should
now.
go.
Well, since you brought it up, say it again so she can write it down.
Yeah.
So within that, you're gonna prioritize within it. So what's priority right now? Water. Water is the priority,
The drainage.
right?
The drainage.
And
So
those,
under
flooding, the drainage.
infrastructure, go one, drainage.
Drainage.
yeah,
Yeah.
particularly the drainage that's dealing with a safety hazard
Yeah,
too. So you
safety
got some
hazards.
that's not safe at all,
Yeah,
some
So
areas.
drainage next, then what else? What were you gonna say?
sidewalks,
Roads,
roads.
okay.
And that's sidewalks, what we drive on, what we walk on.
Roads. And then
Make sidewalks.
sidewalks
Mhm.
and the covers. Just say
But when
sidewalks,
you do
say
the
slab.
drainage, you do the
Yeah,
covers,
when
and
you
when
do
you
the
do
drainage, you
the
do the
roads, you do
covers
the
all at the same
sidewalks.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, they go together.
Mr. Johnson, you had your hand up.
You say drainage and the covers go together?
Yes, sir.
And sidewalks,
Right.
right? Drain, sidewalks and drainage is together, right?
Well,
And we got to find a way to properly secure those covers too. I mean, it's an expense, but
Yeah, if we can get a well.
yeah,
Water
because
main.
they're cashing them in.
there have to be a way to do it.
And we can tack them
This
down.
is your day, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah, he can do that.
Okay, but she's saying locks, yeah, they got locks. We had locks and chain too. And what they do, hook up to it, put it against their truck or their car,
Yeah, ain't gonna-
snatch it right out. I have had it did.
right.
We had some made that over there, Welders and Belgrade had storm drain covers made. When they put new ones out, come back the next day, they done snatched it out. The whole concrete tore out. So they still do that. We looked into some hard plastic.
That's what I was gonna say, because we make
We
them out of
was
something
looking- we was
that
trying to find
doesn't
something
pay for
hard.
them to do it.
But,
That's a
with the
good
hard
idea.
plastic, sometimes they warps.
Yeah.
So that's the study we've been looking at, they warps.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah, but
don't
at
wanna- we
least it
don't-
would be there.
Yeah, but we didn't wanna put them in like in the middle of the road. On the end would be real good.
Uh-huh.
So we've been looking into that as well.
How about
So
a
maybe we-
fiberglass?
What does Wellington have?
I don't know.
Maybe we have to do a combination, though. We're gonna have to
Some
secure
metal
on
and
some
some
kind of
not.
way, so
Yeah.
some have to be maybe locked.
Yeah, we chained them up,
Yeah.
we chained it up and locked it.
Yeah.
And they still took them.
Well, if there was any way that where these areas are, to put in some cameras to see, you know, in such a way that you would get tag numbers or be able to see, you know, who, so you can prosecute.
They all over the city though. It's all over the city.
Yeah, but if you get a couple of them,
Yeah.
So
and you start
add-
prosecuting
add on
some
the
of these
list
people that are
surveillance,
doing this, it'll stop.
Cameras.
With the plastic, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
No, just,
Yeah, it's not worth anything
There's
in
a
plastic.
material, it's not plastic, it's like a
It's like a
fiberglass,
steel,
yeah. Like a
City Hall.
Teflon fiberglass kind of thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been
City
looking
Hall
into it.
and
That one,
parks.
wow.
yeah.
Yeah. So for surveillance, cameras.
Another area that's bad is Martin Luther King. It floods out there, bad. When it floods out there,
That's bad out there.
kids can't go out there.
The
It's
park
bad.
floods.
So we,
me
you
Mike,
and I
we-
can get together and visit with, Palm Beach and their departments so we can have a discussion about slip lining or get with South Florida Water Management, cause a lot of those guys give cities grants all the time to fix stuff like that, so.
Yeah, you're referring to the whole yard, right?
Well,
that's because
so
the
can we-
city
there's certain
park
spots
was
out
never
there.
Yeah, can we
developed.
fill them up and
It was
keep
never
them by
developed when
slope,
they put
let the
the
water
park there.
just,
Okay, so while you guys are on infrastructure, is there
Well, now when they
a
put the
section
pool
of
in,
town to
they
start at first?
anything
Now
within
when
the
they build the
entrances?
pool,
Well-
it could be more.
Entrance of,
We had that major complaint on Fourth. I know their
I thought
sidewalks
it
and,
was MLK Park.
From
it's
Fourth
really
to-
They said the
bad.
pool.
So Fourth runs like that, so from what, like from Lake Avenue or further down from Lake all the way over to Fourth?
I
I mean,
would
I
try
need
to
to agree.
cover the entire Fourth if I could. I mean, we walked that area, and
Anybody
every
that is
area we
Boulevard,
walked was pretty
MLK Park?
bad.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you
Miss-
can do
Miss
little
Adams-
sections of it, but
I'm sorry, Miss Adams said third and fourth she already had on the thing. How far,
Huh?
So I cover, it's all of the streets. So the list breaks down each street and the section, the areas of the sections. And what else I was gonna say is, when you go back to the Glaze Regional Master Plan,
mm-hmm,
it has been updated some. And if you go in and you can look at, they'll identify the areas that we have already, what was identified. But you also have to keep in mind, the conversation has to happen with, East Beach Water District, Palm Beach County Water District. So then that way we're all on one page because we can fix storm drains, but as you notice in Glade Citizens Zone, when we did that, it was tied to the back. So there was work we still know we had to do. That $650,000, $635,000 still did not cover because there's so much drainage that's linked and those areas are capped and crushed at certain spots. And that's why I say, when we do this, we have to look at mitigation moving forward. So we're not just fixing the problem for now, it is something long run. So as Mr. Johnson was saying, it's not like we're trying to combat what has happened or come up with, oh, that's another area. It's gonna cost. And so that's why the dollars seem like we've increased it, but we know that in order for us to get solid, good work that's done, solid products, it's gonna cost us more. So we have to get creative.
Perhaps after we identify what we want to do infrastructure-wise, then maybe we could have a meeting with East Beach and with Palm Beach County and anybody that needs to be in that meeting to say, this is what we've identified, what have y'all identified, and how can we collaborate together to make that happen?
And as I said, they have the map that they sent to me.
Mhm.
I'm getting with Mr. Johnson, so then that way we know the areas and so when we speak to you all, we go to the city manager and we say, okay, these are the areas we've done our due diligence so that we know these have been identified and these are the issues and this is, so it may not be at a certain location that you're looking at, it may be happening.
Oh, yeah, because it's all connected in how it drains, yes, yeah.
I know with these storm drainage covers, it's gonna take a while to get them all done, but in the meantime, we're gonna have to do some Band-Aid effect. There are woods over some of the drainage cover and it's rotting. It just give a impression that this you can walk over. It's really safe to have it. So regardless of what we do and the way we prioritize, we're gonna have to do the major work up front and covering those temporarily the best we can, and then finding a more permanent solution as we move forward. But that needs to be done. In addition to that, a 9-year-old fell in a wheelchair. Luckily, the 9-year-old who is not able to walk wasn't injured. But that parent and guardian called the city, called the mayor. Myself and the city manager went out and took a look at things like that. There's a major safety hazard we're gonna have to fix as soon as we can, as soon as possible.
Do we know the cost? Is there a big savings to do the heavy plastic, or are they more expensive, or have we ever priced them out, or?
We never priced out, we just did the study on them
Okay.
and found that a lot of them, they just walk.
Mhm.
They have some made out of polyurethane now.
Yeah.
That's
That's
right. Yeah, that's what she's
Polyurethane,
talking
that's
about.
the word, yes.
AJ.
Plastic and rubber.
Whatever you
Yeah.
find, make sure
And
it's
it's
it's still reinforced. If it's still reinforced, you shouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So what we can do is we can
Yeah.
look at doing that, finishing out this quarter, getting everything
what they're
identified, and then
using
see how long
now.
it takes to order the polyurethane type
No,
of cover or
those
whatever,
are like
so we can at least get
absolute,
things
yeah.
removed or do something to mark them so people know not to go there. You know, like if we can get some red spray paint or something to say, you know, because we put cones out, they gone.
Mm-hmm.
So we
But
need
that's what
to,
she's talking about. There's a lot of cities, that's what they're really doing away with those iron things. Cause I seen some irons out there and go East Lake Village, even the iron ones now have them rotted and
Yep.
I don't know, the
They're a
older,
mess.
St. Quentin, the older lady that we go to, she's scared every day walking out her door, she calls. Even though it's not going anywhere, she feel that it's going somewhere. But that, what she's talking about, that's the,
And that wasn't done that long ago, was it?
yeah, they've been there for a while.
So,
They
Like
didn't-
East Lake Village.
Yeah, they didn't fix that when they did the roads.
They never did the road.
Right there where your mom said that needed to.
Oh, East
yeah,
Lake,
that
that
was-
was, yeah.
Yeah, we
I
took a
was
look at
thinking
that
where
area.
she-
Actually, we
Yeah,
had
it's-
a resident that fell at one of those storm cover holes 2 years ago, and it's still the same. It's not, if it have been fixed, somebody that did something to it. I think wood is over there, but yeah, that's a bad area also.
perhaps if we're gonna prioritize those stormwater drains as a major thing, then if we take this 100,000 that we're projecting for sidewalks and move that over and add it to the 100,000 that we had already projected for stormwater drains, then that gives us a couple of 100,000 to, I don't know how much it would cost to do, but I'm saying that should cover quite a bit, I would think.
The only thing is, there are some sidewalks that's major hazard too.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right, I understand, but I
You
mean,
have to balance it a little.
I'm kind of like a person like, this is a project, let's do this completely done and know that that's all taken care of and we can kind of check mark it off, as opposed to a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit here, which,
The only problem with that, the 100,000 for that sidewalk is already you about to get a contract on that already, and that's already,
Is that-
that's already pretty much,
Yeah, we're pretty much with those,
Yeah.
couple sidewalks, that contract is ready, but another thing that we have to keep in mind is when we look at, that funding stream, so if it's surtax dollars, when we submitted that list of surtax dollars, we basically have to kind of stick to
Yeah,
that.
stick to what's on there.
We can go to them and say, these are areas that we would like to change, but it has to be justified. So. keep
Couldn't
that
we
in
use-
mind.
But we're gonna, let's,
yes.
okay, so, Ms. Blanca, like, I guess, put at the bottom of the, thing, just put on there, fourth quarter, we do a budget amendment so we can get started on at least identifying and seeing if we can order covers, to at least get the covers covered, and then I have to see what kind of crews would it take through maybe a temp service or whatever to jack up some of the more important things, because we got stuff look like a ramp. So, you know, at least get it knocked down so that that's no longer a hazard, and that's a jackhammer and some other things. And Mr. Johnson, would you have staff that we could draw from, or career source that we can get you at least a temporary crew, and we put we get together and work out numbers, and that way I can bring it back to the commission, and because we're gonna have extra dollars there that we hadn't spent in the budget for the end of this 21 year.
Now, would some of these gutters be raised up since some of them are so low to the ground?
Well, we'll prioritize them, and we'll tell you where we're gonna go, and then you guys can bless it and we get going.
Okay.
You know, because that's the main thing, is just making a priority. That way, we're stretching our dollars, if you will.
Another way we could stretch our dollars is by doing some of the labor ourselves. We have a department that back in the days, you know, they did everything in the city.
Okay,
And
but
lately it's only been mowing grass.
there's only 4 of them.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
know,
gonna
'cause
need,
it's
you need to
been
double the
tweeted
crew.
out.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna figure it out and bring it back to you. It's gonna cost some money, but that's where I'm saying, allow me at just
But
that
we
moment to
could
turn a
give
corner.
Jobs, it create jobs, and it also, you know, save us, instead of paying somebody else, we could pay our own crew and hire our local people like we used to.
I see you got FDOT here. With FDOT,
What page you on?
I'm on the first page.
Oh, you see on page 1, which,
No, I do it in the throw some out there.
Come up here.
On FDOT.
We can hear you.
My name is Annie Core. I live at 8832 Eldorado Drive. Anyway, what I was saying about the FDOT here, I see FDOT here, and what I was thinking about was, can we do a sidewalk that is going from Paget Island through there? Can we do that? Because that walk right there is so dangerous for those people that be walking through
Talking
there.
about where they walk out there on 441?
Oh, yeah.
You know, where they walk, they go that way like to the railroad track.
Miss Annie,
That's Candy.
Miss Polanca's telling me that that's unincorporated, that's not our district.
That's why I was saying FDOT. I was trying to say FDOT because I know FDOT do a lot of other stuff. Other
Okay.
than just for the city.
So, yeah, we can,
State road, but what we do is we contact them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On the Glades, when you look at the Glades master plan, it has identified throughout the Glades area, areas that need to be covered. For instance, if you look at State Road 700. So.
Yeah, I think
it's
what,
just letting them know that's a concern and an issue.
That's what I was saying.
I think when we did that Glades master plan, if I remember correctly, there was also, they identified where the kids were crossing over to walk to school or ride their bike to school, and how dangerous that was, and we had talked about, you know, some way to get them
Mayor,
across there.
Excuse me, Vice Mayor. So Mayor, who's on the board for the regional planning for Okay, so how often does that meet? Because
Once a
there's.
month, on the
there-
third Friday of the month.
Okay, so we definitely need representation there. I don't know how often you've been attending, but I'll step
Every month.
in
Yeah.
and go, because we can lobby and ask for dollars, and then
Yes.
they have a priority list, but we can definitely get in on that, because that's
Yeah.
the purpose of it.
If you
to
want,
bring
we'll get
attention
together
to
and I'll
the-
give you the schedule and everything so that we can figure out, yes.
As far as sidewalks, I mean, I know it's county, but from Friend Village up to Barden, Barfield, they could use a sidewalk. I've been saying that ever since we moved here in '99. I mean, that's pathetic.
Yeah.
You see mothers with a baby stroller on the side of the road, and especially at night.
If it's raining, it's a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no lights.
And Ms. Culver said that was a
Yeah.
thing
Sure,
that
Ms.
I
Culver.
read that 4 years ago
It's
with
COVID.
that
I've been
county.
talking that for I don't know how many
Oh,
years.
that's-
Yeah, I think it's a requirement now when you redo a road, it
You
has
have
to
to do the
include
sidewalks.
sidewalks. So who's ever responsible for that, if we can put some pressure for the state or
county.
county, whoever, to do it, they would include that in there. If you look at 715, all the way down,
Sidewalk where nobody walks.
It goes to nowhere.
Right.
I mean, they need to have put it here.
but I'm saying, once we get our roads requested and on the list, hopefully the same thing would occur. We'll get those
But
sidewalks.
aren't they doing work over here on 441?
It's
That's what I was
COVID.
gonna say, they should be doing that
Sharon.
road through there, their money
They're
is.
working on there now, but I don't see them doing no
Sure.
sidewalks.
Well, yeah, that's some,
Where did you say the sidewalk is at?
Mr.
The one you-
Lucas and staff can follow up.
No, the other one. You said
From
Paget
Friend
Island.
Village
Or Friend Village.
to Barfield, at least, a sidewalk.
Yeah, because that's where everybody walks.
But is-
From Friend Village, 441.
Right.
Coming around, over the railroad track and up to.
Past the track
Barfield.
store and down
Oh.
past Pageant.
Oh, you mean that section, just that section? Because I think there is a sidewalk where Dovelands.
No, there's a
Where
piece of
Dovelands
road that
at?
everybody walks on, there's no sidewalk. And there's
Wow, I did
no
not- I
lighting.
didn't
Yeah, there's no light, there's no sidewalk, there's nothing.
Just a little piece of some, I mean, there's nowhere if somebody had a flat tire to even pull off.
Yeah.
So we got to advocate for that, lighting and sidewalks down
Yeah.
that path.
But
So that's a
that-
school
that's
route too.
county, isn't
And
it?
students walk. So
But
we need
We
to,
need to hit them up. I mean, they gotta come and do it. Yeah, then
Yeah.
we need to,
You-
because they need to take care of their part over here.
Yeah.
Commissioner, and I have, that's why they've taken that bus stop down, and that's why they finally knocked that old house down. We've been writing letters, we've been writing letters to the county about the bus stop, because the bus stop was there as well, and that's not a peaceful bus stop to stand there. So we've written letters, we've called, and that's how we got the house knocked down, I guess, because they got tired of us writing letters and writing letters and
Well,
writing letters.
you know what?
Still haven't gotten that, they,
Railroad track was?
We as a commission need to show up to their commission meeting and bring it up.
That's the bus stop?
Huh?
Tasha,
Planning Authority.
did I hear you correct? That's where the bus stop is at?
And so.
Wow.
Look at that, but we would need to.
I got pictures of it. I sent to the
engineer on staff
county.
to have something to take to this. So that
4 years I've been.
But if the mayor is right, if
That's
they,
bad.
aren't they scheduled
That's
to
bad.
redo that road from Shirley Drive on around the curve there? So when they do that road, then we just make sure we stay on top of them, that they put a sidewalk in, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if that's how it's supposed to go, then we'll make sure they do
And
it.
bring our bus stop back.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Build us a real bus stop.
I mean, because what's really, I mean, like from Friend Village in there, anybody in a wheelchair,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, not a wheelchair, but what do you, motorized chair.
Yeah.
You know, there's no, they have to go on the road.
And you see it all the time. Yeah, it's definitely a safety hazard there. Yeah.
Well, let's bust our way to the county.
Okay, so, back to this page 1 of the schedule.
Good.
So, where it says, right there at the very top, it says road, streets, storm drains. So, at that top square, am I safe to say infrastructure?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, but also we should add streetlights.
Okay, so, street, which one?
It's up where the marquee is, I have lighting up under there, but it's not going into detail, so we just moved that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that
you
should be
move
when
that
you
over,
do, when
yeah.
you
So-
do the streets, the sidewalks,
And lighting.
street lighting.
Street lighting should be
Everything
part of
that
it.
has to do with like,
Okay, so, Commissioner Perez, we're gonna, where it says, where I just wrote infrastructure in that top little square, under roads, streets, storm drains, I'm gonna make a line and say lighting.
Is
Yeah.
that, Ms. Adams, is that the LED street lighting you got back here on the final page? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, lighting. Okay,
so
so,
like she said, just, put it in that one section. If we're gonna do streets and sidewalks, we're gonna do the lightings, make sure the storm water things are on. When we do the storm water, and I'm sure the storm water needs to be done before you do the streets, sidewalks, lighting, and I guess take each section at a time
right, but,
until we just, Pahokee's done.
so this fourth quarter, we're gonna identify and get these covers done at least, and try to do some of the sidewalks.
Right.
Okay, is everybody agreeable upon that?
Yes.
Okay, so, yep, you got it, fourth quarter? Yep, all right.
And in regards to the lighting, I'm sorry, I believe FPNL has a project, a right-of-way project, that they're gonna install some lights. And if I'm not mistaken, those are gonna go into that section of 715.
Into what section?
I believe it's in that section that we are talking about.
That's soon to come because,
So is
Yeah, where
that
they're
the,
doing the road.
Okay, so they're gonna put in wooden poles or they're gonna put in cement poles?
I'm not quite sure, but I will get that information and get it to Ms.
We
Lewis.
want cement.
We want cement.
Yeah, I
We
I
want
talked
those
to
big
FPNL.
green
LED,
cement
just like
poles.
they do in the,
Regina,
In
I
the
talked to
big
FPNL, they
cities.
told me they're gonna put some more
Yes.
concrete
Just make us
poles out
see.
there.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the ugly gray poles. I'm talking about the green, pretty poles.
Yes.
Oh, the green ones, yeah.
The green ones like South Bay has, like
Yeah.
Belglay has.
Melissa McKinley and I spoke about that already.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
this is
I
all-
don't think we should accept any more poles that aren't those pretty green
So-
poles.
we're not third grade
That's right.
country.
If it's good enough for the others, it's good enough for us.
Yeah,
Bring them on.
Stephanie,
yeah. We're gonna get it done, we're gonna get it done right.
the last time I talked to her, we was about this thing about what was our streetlight.
I like
She said
that.
it should be coming soon, and she would get back to me.
okay,
I'll call her back and get that information.
Yeah, tell her we want those pretty green ones. She knows which ones.
all right, page
And
two,
the fourth,
page
let's
two.
include that street right by the bank, chamber, commission office,
So
that
where that,
pothole.
Oh, yeah, that big old pothole right there on the
Cafe is,
corner.
it's
That
one
whole-
29 North Lake Avenue is the building. There's that whole little strip that when you come from Papa Jimmy's and you go to turn left to come down to our building, that right where you go up to the marina, all that's bad. It's bumpy and, yeah, so it's a
Coming
state
around the
road.
curve there.
On that, yes, on that, I had talked to someone, but that happened when the truck route, when they had, something happened on the truck route and the transfer trucks was coming up that way and stretched the streets.
Yeah.
We did call on that, and I did report that, because I remember
did
even
too.
when Virginia Baker was here for something, I even took pictures and stuff of that. So
Yeah.
that's good. It does need to, and they got some complaints that it's tearing the bottom of people's cars.
Oh, yeah.
And they're
Yeah, so
going,
that, so
They're
that road
swinging
is
way out
actually-
wide.
yeah, that's a
That's
a
safety
state road.
Definitely a
issue
hazard.
too. And I spoke with Mr. Lucas also, the county should be
On top
probably
of it.
responsible. Not only that, they're actually doing
Their
some
street.
paving now, so that should be able to be fitted into
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
they're doing.
like when they were doing the one there
But
at
that's
the
a
end of
priority we
Barfield.
need to address.
Yeah.
So, down at the bottom, fourth quarter,
So I hope
the
they just
county,
infrastructure.
no, just put it above it. Yeah. By the city commission, what is it, yeah, East Main. call into the
When
state
he said
for
the
to fix
bottom,
that
she really
road,
went
that
to
patch
the
of road.
She's reading Little League. She's trying to fit it all in. He keeps adding stuff. She keeps trying to fit it in.
Okay.
All right, page 2.
Amen. We moved on to 2.
Now, these are all our roads coming in with road construction and sidewalk improvements. So, Ms. Adams, the sidewalk improvement on this page, which streets are those considered? Is that,
3rd and 4th, didn't she say?
so it's the 1, 2, 3, 4th square down?
Wait, like on page 1?
No,
Two.
on page 2, where it
Page
said
2.
sidewalk, she said 3rd and 4th is what I
Right
wrote
here.
down.
Page 2.
You know, because at first you guys were talking about the 100,000 and all that
Yeah, that's what we were
stuff.
talking about, moving
So-
it over, but she
so
said
is
it
that-
already been
so which street
identified.
is that?
Improvements
Yeah.
meaning all of the streets.
Okay.
So where-
So we
where-
gotta come up with the grid, you know, from what to what. You know, we
Yeah.
really gotta prioritize that, and that's gonna be in your upcoming fiscal year.
So with the sidewalk improvements, because we already have them prioritized, I can give you the list as it has been prioritized.
And is
And
East
that
Lake
way-
on that? Is East Lake on that list?
Every sidewalk in the street is on that list.
All right, so I have to get that to you.
Every sidewalk in the city, you mean?
I mean, in the city.
Yeah,
sorry.
okay, I was like,
Yes.
okay, maybe I missed a
was
word
just
there.
gonna tell you that.
I was like, okay, what'd she say?
Every sidewalk
Okay,
is on that.
and you have them in that order where you think they need to go first and say, okay, yeah,
That-
if we could get that.
That was the challenge with putting the list together. That was the challenge with coming up with the 100,000 is, I know I have so many streets that need, but the two where, 4th and 5th, I have 1st and 3rd that have street lights coming up out the sidewalk, and it's, the pole is broken and the sidewalk is broken. So
Where's that
that's
at?
kinda,
3rd and 4th.
Yeah,
where's that at?
4,
When you're going down Rod,
2nd,
turn on 3rd,
You know where
Angie
4th
lives?
Street. On the right.
Oh, yeah.
Angie lives on 4th, I think it is 3rd. or 4th.
Well, Barfield is the whole road, and I look at the sidewalks.
The sidewalks are included in Barfield's reconstruction, right? That's what they were told.
Yeah, Barfield
That's-
That one
has
gets
the
started
sidewalks.
till 20.
That's one thing I wanna
22,
ask. When we're doing this resurfacing or reconstruction of the roads, why are we not including sidewalks at the same time?
Okay, so if it is reconstruction, as for instance with Barfield Highway, that will include a sidewalk, that includes the sidewalk.
Right, but if we
If
do
it is
resurfacing and there's no sidewalks, can we just add sidewalks?
But remember, I only get $210,000, and depending on the length and the width of that road, those contractors, when they come back, so it may come up to 197,000. I may be able to add curbing in there, but the sidewalk is something else. And so if it gives me enough dollars to get striping in there, because a lot of our roads don't have striping, crossbars, any of that. So it's a lot of things you have to take into consideration with $210,000.
Okay, so my thing is, if it's $210,000, instead of resurfacing 4 streets, take 2
completely.
streets and do
the whole thing, everything.
the road, the sidewalk, the like that.
so, too.
And then when
So-
you're finished, you have it
So
all.
we would have to have a conversation with who's providing the money, because,
Yeah, it doesn't include, those EDTF dollars do not include sidewalks.
so a lot of times in the city, when it comes to your apron, to your drive and the sidewalk, you get a surcharge on your property tax bill that you are on the hook for that. So, I haven't came into any negotiations yet with those and received direction from you guys, but I know to check into that for you and see if it can be amended. Because it takes years to get the funding, and then you want to sit there and tell them, oh, I want 2 here, 2 there. You may get your funding taken.
But is it possible, I didn't know if it's possible, like, along the same lines as what she's saying, is when we identify that we're gonna do, say, 4 streets, then we start looking immediately for grants that do the sidewalks, do the curbing, that kind of stuff, so that we know, like she said, when we go in there, when we walk away, everything's
Or have
done.
some money aside. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're gonna do for this, then we got this money that we could do the sidewalks. That way, when we're doing, you
It's
know,
done.
you're finishing the area, you know, so when, before you know it, you have a development that's already, you
Pretty.
know.
So.
And nice.
Okay, so for the 210, phase 4 and phase 5, we know that we know we have phase 4. Because of COVID, what's on the horizon, there's a strong possibility we may get the phase 5. We don't know if that 210, if that funding is gonna be there for the remainder for phase 6, 7, and 8. So we're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. But we will start looking at additional dollars that we can go towards curbing and.
Do we have any knowledge of whether or not the CARES Act money is gonna allow us to do any of this kind of infrastructure?
All I know is I filled out the form for Florida League of Cities, so I'm waiting to hear back on what other forms I need to fill out for that. We got some direction from Miss Susan yesterday, and so I'll follow up on that to further see what we can use it for and all those, because she kind of went through what we could.
Right.
We're
'Cause
just waiting
I-
to see our allocation, since I've already responded to the information that you had the gentleman call me on, Radcliffe.
And they've already had 2, I think, and I'll send you the links, webinars that I've been on that start talking about what they're gonna allow us to do or what they
Okay.
won't allow us to do with the money.
Still working out the particulars.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
Another suggestion that I have, whenever we start getting these developments coming in, like they do in the bigger cities, sometimes you could say, okay, you're doing this development, then we need you to do this road and, you know, upgrade this road, and you throw it right in, right along with their development. Because I know there's some developers that come to develop, and then, you know, you gotta tell them, okay, you're doing this, we need this road. If you're gonna do this kind of development, then you need to do this road and this road and this road. Yeah, and we need lights, and so that
No
part
problem.
is
It's
taken
an
care of.
upfront negotiation when it comes down to those things, depending on how many phases they're doing and how much land they're gonna receive or purchase.
Right.
So no problem, and I'll make sure I've added,
It doesn't have to be land that they're being given. It could be land that they own,
Just that they're developing.
purchasing.
Yeah.
We're the city, we're the boss.
Mr. Lucas.
okay.
We're the boss.
We courting, so I get.
Yeah, we could get some, or we
About the
want
street in
some.
McClure Road, I think it's Sable and Palm Street, in McClure Road. That area has been neglected for a little while.
That's East
Is
Lake.
that
That's
where,
East Lake,
At the
yeah.
very end, that's considered East Lake too?
Yes.
Yeah,
Vice Mayor, is
Yeah.
that where you took me to?
mm-hmm,
Okay.
yeah,
East
down
Lake
in there.
needs to be redone completely.
Yeah. it's-
That's a forgotten area.
But you know, so I don't know how we did our sidewalk, we stayed out.
County did your sidewalk, didn't they?
We called them and
Yeah,
we laid into them and
Oh,
brought some of them.
yeah,
out
letter
there.
writing really helps
Speaking of
with that kind of
county-
stuff.
And
Was
then
she-
everybody failed,
Mhm.
and
Was-
then they said, okay, we got you.
Yeah.
That's when they did our sidewalk.
where she lives at, they put speed bumps, right?
Mhm.
And that's something I'm constantly asking about, speed bumps. Could we fit in some kind of?
That was,
But for us, within
okay,
the
so
city limits.
when they did those speed bumps on those 2 streets over there, we had to get, the county sent, OCR sent a form out, and every house on the street had to sign to say yes or no, did they want the speed bumps on that street? And then they took it from there, isn't that how they did it with all the forms that they sent in to OCR?
What happened, Commissioner, was that the city came out there and they put it down.
Mhm.
Well, that was the county.
Mm-hmm,
The county took it back up.
right, 'cause it was their
They put
road.
it down because that
Yeah.
was their property.
Yeah.
They put it down and stuff. But
Yeah.
I got to call them back because our speed limit was 25 and it's supposed to be 15.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta speed up to get to the speed bump. Yeah.
Let's see if we can at least finish page 2. And I want to just make a few comments about the MLK Park. We just want to make sure we have those health stations along the path, the walk path. Belgrade, I think Pioneer Park have some similar where when you walk, you got different stations, you can do physical
Like they used to have Hart
exercise or
Park down at
whatever.
Commissioners Park,
So,
the Hart Trail.
Ms. Allen, that is included as part of that grant, and that's something that's coming up very soon, so we just want to make sure that's part of it. And that,
Health station or workout station?
right, correct.
Yeah.
And that walk area was
Exercise,
well utilized too. It just got a little deteriorated, but that's gonna be a big plus for the community and the residents. once
Ms.
that
Adams,
come up.
if when you're doing that, if you look, I think there's a Hart Trail grant that they used originally when they did the one there in Commissioners Park.
Yeah.
So that might
Add
help
workout station.
leverage that money.
The MLK Park for their upgrade, make sure we have.
They can use
workout
some lighting
station.
out there too.
So what,
They can use some lighting outside.
Commissioners Park, we already have the money, right? It's 200 and what?
50,000.
255?
250.
I mean, MLK.
Yeah,
So what, that's what we're talking about now, right?
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so,
MLK, we're about to turn to page 3 to get to the Commissioner Park part.
Okay.
Well, she had a
Oh, I thought we were
question
talking
for
about MLK Park.
I thought
Great.
Vice had a question on MLK.
So
Oh,
Rance
was it you,
had a
Brett?
question for MLK.
We
are
were
we
talking
still
about
in MLK?
Yeah.
Yeah, we still on MLK.
okay, so what, that 255, what are we using that money for?
So on
What are we
MLK,
doing there?
Those dollars were allocated, and I think I have it listed down there.
Playground.
Playground,
walking,
LED, like the
lighting.
walking path, it said resurfacing,
The parking lot?
yeah, resurfacing, paving, parking lot, and I think it was one other thing, but it's just a general. We have not gotten back from the state the
Baseball
actual
field,
agreement and those
fencing.
tax items as of yet, but that's what we listed on the legislative request.
Is there a concession
And that's
stand
what we
there?
have to use it for?
We would have to use it along those lines. That's basically how we wrote it, the legislative request with those items. When we get the agreement, it will specify exactly what we need. What happens is we get with our engineer and we come up with hard numbers to be able to match those items. And look at, we've spoken with Ms. Pickney, looking at exactly what we're gonna do with, because it listed the baseball field on there. I think we had, it may be a total of about 7 or 8 things on there, and we know we only have 250, so we'll have to find those matching funds or.
Okay,
be able to limit what we do.
I think I have identified one, so I will get together with you and let you know. Somebody who said they would be interested in doing something down there when we got the money to do something, so.
But I have a
okay.
question with that, because I know it's 250, but I know the ask was more than the 250. That's why it was so many on the list. So the question is, since we only have the 250 and all that is still on the list, like I said, we can go and look and see which one we should do, that it should have, be
And
The
Mr.
priorities?
Pickney has begun to do
Yeah.
that. He started looking at what the costs are. So if it is, knowing that you all really want to do the baseball field, that whole 250 is going towards the baseball field, but we still have to be mindful of sustainability. And that is the biggest issue with when we're going after money, we need to make sure we can sustain what we're going after.
Yeah,
Then
it,
we'll come back and look
it
at-
definitely would be my preference to put the entire pot of money on the baseball field. I know he kind of throw that out from time
Yeah,
to time,
right.
but I would definitely want to spread the wealth throughout that park and make it more usable for a variety of folks. And those health stations is one of the biggest key that I can see. But when I went to Tallahassee, the governor, I spoke with him on a one-on-one, and he did say if we fell short of the project that we was getting funded for, which was MLK, that he would see if there are some additional funds, if we can identify
Yes.
additional money that's needed to complete that project. So that's one alternative. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but we at least would put that out there if we do need some additional dollars.
Because you know, those bathrooms and that concession
Nasty.
stand is just
Yeah.
in the floor.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we took into consideration, and as I said, Mr. Pickney has looked at, you know, getting costs for those things, but mind you, we will have to put them out to bid, and it is the lowest bidder. So, you know,
So-
we're cautious of our dollars and using them wisely.
So are you guys, as the commissioners, in agreement with doing, prioritizing walking path, LED lighting, and workout stations? Because playground's gonna be a good $150,000 when you do these
Right, and
playgrounds.
there's already some playground equipment there
No,
now.
but we want state-of-the-art playground
That's
equipment.
what
We
I'm
don't
saying.
want them little plastic
Now,
things.
now
Wouldn't it
usually
be
what
better to go
happens
out
is,
for another ask for
now,
that, though?
playgrounds, we can go corporate side, because I was able to get $150,000 for playground equipment for a middle school just up in Groveland, just going to one of the big corporations.
And didn't we get
So-
the
so we could
playground
take-
equipment in Commissioners Park from Boomers or something?
We got it
Boom?
from Kaboom.
Kaboom, I knew it was some,
Right,
yeah,
from that,
Kaboom,
yeah.
right.
We got it from Kaboom, so that was.
So can we see,
6 years, so we had to, yeah.
can we have Mike look at workout station, LED lighting, and walking path? Would that, to pretty much lay out your
Yeah, because that
park?
covers that whole
Now,
one
man, when
side,
you talking
right?
about the workout station, you talking about like the one that got that ground, probably not that size, but you know, the one that they got with the little concrete
Behind that
slab and you go
Right,
and do
right, right.
Yeah,
Like you're walking
Their
your
workout
path,
station is
and
really
every so
a
often you
polo.
have a
Maybe
workout area.
2 or 3
You
along.
stop, you
Right,
do your
right, right, right.
exercise, and then you
So
keep
much
walking
here,
to the
so much
next
there.
one.
We can look at.
And that's
so-
what she's talking about, the hard
So,
thing
so
grant that
the
they have.
MLK part,
Okay.
for that, we're gonna, so write that, put an asterisk on that one and do, the workout stations, so what, 5?
well, that's, if you
It's
look
gonna
at,
be
if you
all
look at that
all
Heart
around
Trail
and
grant,
Combine them into one, and we did, look, we do have already some ideas for the workout station, because when we were looking at Glade Citizens Villa Park, we identified some workout stations.
LED lighting and walking paths.
yeah. But be sure to check into that Heart Trail Path grant for that, and then, like I said,
And
see if
when we
can
put
do
it out
something
for bid, what we need to do is put it in a way what we want. We want the trail, including the workout areas, and not just tell them, well, we want it like this or like this. People that do this for a living, that this is what they do, they know what to do, and they do it professionally, and it looks like everywhere else. Not that they come here and say, okay, we want a trail, and we want you to put this here, because we really don't know.
yeah.
I mean, we got an idea, but they're the professionals, and when we put it out for bid,
Let's hire a
whoever's gonna
professional and
bid
get it
is
done.
somebody that does this for.
You see baseball field, fencing, all that, so those things are gonna be probably a lower priority.
But it's been a
Lighting.
lot of conversation. Let's look at the splash pad, that
Oh,
valve.
yeah.
Okay, so now we're on Commissioner's Park,
Right.
so,
Have we priced that cost of that, and
Phase
are we
3.
able to get it done?
I said, that's what we want, pool at Commissioner's Park.
well, that's
Right,
after
but
they
that's
tear
not a
down
priority
the,
this year.
the house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking about that pool for some years too. And
This year
even
it's gonna be
if
infrastructure, right?
Calypso Bay in Royal Palm area, if even that kiddie pool, it looked like a big pool, but it's only like 3 feet, it's low
It
maintenance.
should be a municipal pool.
Uh-huh.
It should be a municipal pool.
Like that, we could have a swim team if they wanted to use it.
Yes, a
and that kind of
municipal
stuff,
pool.
yeah.
So that if we want to have a swimming team in the school, they have a place where, just like they have in Wellington, if we're gonna go,
So
let's go
do-
for the stars.
Yeah.
Right.
So do we have enough room or land for Olympic-sized pool?
Not only that,
Yeah.
Okay, so we got
But-
enough space there then?
Okay, so if we have, but we already have a water feature at Commissioners Park, what if we put the pool down to MLK? That's, then the kids can walk, because I think a
So-
lot more kids live in that area than perhaps
already got
live up there by
splash pad.
Commissioners Park.
So I hear you guys saying
That's what she's saying, 'cause we
Olympic-sized
have a
pool.
water
You mean a
feature here
big
to have
pool?
A real
water
pool.
over there.
So do you
Yeah.
have enough land for Olympic-sized pool?
I don't think so, that property, I don't think so.
Well, maybe instead of the baseball field, we take where the baseball field is and where they tried to put that soccer field and all that, and use that land right there for a pool.
At the, is there enough room for that?
Somebody back there wants to talk. Mr. Mayor, that lady back there wants to talk. Come up here, honey, with the mask on, we can't hear
Big
you.
enough?
That y'all give
Commissioner
them a
Burke?
pools to, because I work at the marina, and, I get very, by school is out now, I'm being stress, pressure, because the kids don't have somewhere to go.
Yeah, we
I
know.
don't know that each and every day.
We know, we agree.
Even as I work on a Saturday, and I can't control my job, trying to control the kids.
Yeah,
They come over the hill.
yeah,
and
we
jump
seen where
in
they've
in
been
the pool.
breaking
I have
the,
called the police so many times. A couple of them that I do know, I go to their parent. But my situation, the parent, you know, I try to do the best I can do.
Right.
And that's all I can do. So I wish y'all would give them
But-
the pool and keep them from the marina.
yeah.
And what I was thinking is, we have those two baseball fields down on the south end of town at Paget Park that are maintained by the county and don't cost us a dime, basically. And we have this baseball park there, but I think the kids would probably get a whole lot more use out of a pool there. So if we took where the baseball field was and where they tried to put that little soccer thing, and took that land
No,
and put a
that
pool
is
there.
that part is the part, you need your baseball field there. Cause it does get used by when the baseball season, you need that there. But there used to be a pool once before already up there by Commission Park. So, you have a plenty enough space, yeah, you have plenty enough
There used
space.
to be a pool up there.
But it wasn't
What
Olympic
happened
size
to it?
I know.
It wasn't Olympic size.
Yeah.
But there is, where they're demolishing the old house and all of that coming down, you got from Barfield all the way back, it's a huge area. You have enough space to.
Yeah, that's what staff just told me,
Yeah,
that
you have enough
Olympic-sized
space to
pool
put an
is
Olympic-sized
possible
pool.
there.
We're
And-
talking,
In there? Yeah.
So-
but we're talking about Olympic style. A pool is very, very expensive. Even if you had someone to build it for you, just to maintain it. So part of those feasibility studies would be even a feasibility study to see if we can maintain a pool. So that's why I was talking
Maintaining
about.
it is just,
It's very, very expensive.
I think probably the
what we
insurance
gotta
is
do
probably
is
the
we
most
gotta
expensive
certify
part,
one
isn't
of
it?
our maintenance guy to be able to take care of the pools, because it's just like, if you have somebody just for that, you know, they have to make sure it's clean it. To test the water, you just put the little liquids, it tells you what you need. It's not,
But a
Even if-
commercial pool has to have a daily log.
Even if.
yes,
Yeah.
that's why, you know, you do it the right way, but it's
Yeah.
not, I mean, they do
Yeah,
it
it's not hard.
everywhere. It's
I think it's an
not.
overnight course or something.
Can we not interject the school? Because-
Yeah, that's what we're saying, so that we could have a swimming team.
Yeah,
Not only that, we probably need Palm Beach County and somebody else to help build it.
sure.
But I mean, it definitely is a goal we need to look forward to. Yeah.
So I have a question.
I volunteer to help with that. We got a big sugarcane industry here. We can ask them to help us with
Yeah,
the pool. We
yeah.
don't ask for a lot. Build some partnerships. I think we can do it.
I have a question for the commissioners. So do we work in tandem with the county for a regional park? So a lot of times, the county will come in and they'll secure land and give you a mega park, usually of 20 acres or more. So has there been any discussions for that?
We don't have the space for that.
No. If it's
County owned.
I'll get a picture of how we're laid out, and I'll look at all the property around us that's abutted to us. And then the county, what they'll do is, if it's touching our border, they'll get the land, they'll do a park, and then they will annex it to us. And we, after so many years, they let us take over the maintenance of it.
So, is there room
So what
down
about
there
the one they
where-
have?
Yeah, what about the one with the baseball fields? Is there room there for a pool?
Regina,
It's called Paget Park, Duncan Paget Park.
isn't that something we're discussing last year about like a theme park, have the county do it?
Yeah, but regional, so I will have a discussion with the county administrator about it then.
Maybe we can get them to trade land someplace. Maybe they've got some land they can trade someplace.
What's Commission Park is the perfect place for that park.
Yeah, but if we can get it built for free, it's what he's
I
saying.
know you're saying that's the
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm focused on that, but
Yeah.
as I meet the county
But he
people,
was trying
you know,
to
it's just
say
something
to
that,
try to do something with the county,
they
that
come in
way
and pay.
they could pay for it.
Yeah.
it's
Which
just
case
a
we get 'em all
thought. It's
bicycles and they
nothing,
can ride.
I'm not saying, we're focused on this to move forward with it. Mayor suggested a study, so I will make sure I study in sustainability so I can bring it before you guys, keep you apprised of what's going on. So now we're down to end of
Wait,
page 3.
what did we decide about the splash pad? Because that's like, we need to fix that today.
So, please, put that as a asterisk. That has a $34,000 price
Put that
tag
on
to
the
the.
top of the list to fix it this week and let the kids use it this
34,000 to
summer.
redo it complete?
The valve, to take it out.
34,000 just for the valve?
Yeah.
What did we pay to build it?
Our splash pad is one of the most outdated, as you heard, Mr. Pickney say before, when he was in that commission meeting. We're one of 3 in the country with the most outdated splash pad.
How old is that splash pad? Huh?
It never was right.
Close to 10 years
10
old, they're
years, and
saying.
what was the cost of, how much money did we allocate for that?
I have to get that for you now.
If I know correctly, that was money there for a pool as well, and it wasn't done, so what happened to that
10 years
money?
ago?
550,000, the pool was included in that
No.
at one point, right?
No.
Yeah.
But it,
So what happened to the money, because the pool's not there?
Okay, so, let's
I'm
look at.
asking, and I don't know, and I wanna
This
know.
is not a commission meeting, this is for the public input. Now, staying focused, I can bring Tuesday that amount so we can do a transfer or a budget amendment for the valve.
Okay, but
Let's-
my question, I'm sorry, Mr.
Yeah,
Mayor.
let's look at the entire cost of redoing the entire splash pad.
Yeah, it's too small.
You put
What?
34,000 just in a valve.
In a valve?
Saving at the park costs 150,000. You got more well-spent money by just redoing it completely over.
Okay, I have,
It'll just make them no more like that.
we will not
So you
have
just
a
rip it
splash
out.
pad functioning.
for this summer.
Yes.
Right, okay, so that's my point. We're not gonna have a splash pad this summer if we go into all that. Can we put a timer on that splash pad and let the kids go and hit the button, turn the thing on for 20 minutes, then it turns itself off?
I can get Ms. Pickney on the phone.
If not, that's
There's,
just staff out there.
the other issue is, I
Get a
believe
staff
it
out
was
there.
something about, even
what?
outside the
Get a
timer,
staff out
the
there.
flow of the water.
Yeah, I know, because the water flows off, but
Have somebody
what I'm
out
saying
there?
is just for this summer, because we're halfway through the summer and those kids haven't even been able to use it.
I
And let
believe
them
that's
turn it
what
on, turn it off, let them
is
have
the
it.
tie.
So, what
So
I can
it's
do
just turning
is,
it on and
No, because they went down there and turned it on with a wrench that, or whatever they do, however they turn it on that time, and then the kids played in it for like 6 hours down there that night.
A job, same job.
I don't know how they turned it on. I'm saying they turned the thing on, and the kids played down there for like 6 hours that night.
And let them maintain it.
And what I'm saying is, if you just hit the button for 20 minutes, you're not gonna lose that much water. I know that's the issue, is the loss of water, right? And the cost of the water. But come on, our kids have nothing to do in this town in the summer. We're halfway through the summer. If we can put a timer on there and let them play, and it costs us a little bit of money in water,
Commissioner,
I say do it.
What about this?
Put a staff member.
That's why I said, why don't you put a staff, get a high school kid,
For a certain
summer
amount of time,
job.
get a volunteer.
Yeah.
a summer job.
Yeah, we're entertaining the internships now, so.
Let's put somebody down there. Let's
We
open
can
that
have
thing
for
up
the
for
summer.
the kids.
So, direction. You want me to bring Tuesday a revisited action plan of looking at who else we could get a bid from, a quote, 3 quotes to do it, so I can get a decision from you guys?
Right,
I'll
but
just
what
come
we're
through.
saying is we would, at least what I'm saying is, I would like to see us do a temporary fix this
So they
week.
could use it tomorrow.
So Monday
Okay.
morning, we can say, that thing's turned on and your
And
kids
that's
can go
in
play.
Commissioner Park, right?
At Commissioner Park, yeah.
Okay, so-
And if that costs us $1,000 or whatever, I mean, come on, our
Okay.
kids have no place to go.
All right, so.
Let's
are-
turn it
are-
on for them. I mean, we blow money on stupid stuff, and we're not letting our kids play in the water. Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
And then we can figure out what to do and what.
Commissioner,
Yeah.
why can't the kids use the pool up to the marina?
There you go.
Is that pool only gonna
That's
be
it.
at the marina, that's staying at the marina?
Because it's in a contract, it's in their contract when they rent. When they rent it, this would be their luxury or
So
whatever.
what you guys
So
do?
that's only for the marina people, not for the.
It's
So-
like private,
Yeah.
you could say.
Wait a minute, what?
But it's a
He's got somebody on the
public facility,
phone.
But it's private for the people.
So I have the director
But
for
really, it's
Parks
not
and Rec.
public, it's supposed to be,
I have the director on the phone for Parks and Rec. So, Mr. Pickney, can you?
Yes, sir. What can I answer for you guys?
Well, they want us to look into doing a temporary fix. You know, back in the day, it was called jerry rigging, but they want to temporarily get it active at the Commissioner Park. What has been, or let's revisit doing the quotes of 3 so we can get it done this upcoming week and get it functional. Can it be rigged in a manner to which it has a timer?
Yeah, I think we can get it done that way. The question is the solenoids that were supposed to be fixed weren't fixed properly. So the issue is going to be is that the apparatus runs at full pressure, and eventually the pump gets hot and it loses pressure. So after a while,
you know how to fix it,
the
don't you?
fixtures will lose the
Don't
water
you?
pressure. But yeah,
Homes can fix it.
Yeah, he knows how to fix it, so,
it's not going to run.
Holmes, what do we
Is
need?
what I'm saying.
What do we need? You know what we need?
The problem with it staying fine, that's the issue.
So
Is what?
I have a gentleman
Because
here
the water
that
runs
could
off and it doesn't
probably-
run back through and recirculate?
With the system staying
Mr.
fine,
Holmes is here.
staying fine, and then with the water not staying at the level where it can keep going into the system, keep it up.
How long did that take for it to lose the pressure?
Normally, you have to, normally, the last time we had someone there, someone did it, had to comply like 2-3 times a day.
Okay. There's only what, like
What are
30
you
days left
priming?
of the summer and then the kids are gonna be back in school?
So can.
It builds pressure.
Water to the apparatuses so the water come
So,
out.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm asking
It's
the
to build pressure.
first primer though, when you prime it up,
How
when
long
it's
does
first
that
in
take?
use, how long would it take? An hour before it's up? So even an hour,
They
even
play,
if they only have an hour a day,
yeah.
that's better than nothing.
Tyrone.
Then
And somebody can-
each day you have to use it, you may have to
What,
reprime
what
it. At
causes
least they have
that? The
that hour.
solenoid?
It's in the box right there. You have to let the water run through there and get high enough so it can prime the pumps in there,
because we had the water come through, being issues, we had the water recycling going through and keeping it going.
Because the water runs off.
So what is it that's stopping that from doing?
I must admit, Mr.
Tyrone.
Holmes, he's pretty on spot,
Pressure
so.
go down low. That's why they have to
Well, I know,
The
I know
pressure
we
goes
definitely
down.
we need to
Okay,
calm
but
down.
there's gotta be
Elizabeth.
something to put, to
So,
increase.
so what we'll do is, we'll have Mr. Holmes come see you
That's what
tomorrow.
I'm-
I mean, well, you know what?
I'm sure then.
You off tomorrow, I forgot. So,
No, actually, I gotta come in because I forgot this weekend is
The camp.
the football camp. So I have to be
Yeah.
there tomorrow night and all day tomorrow.
okay, so what time, Mr. Holmes is right here?
I'll be in from
Here.
8:30.
Here, let him, I'm gonna let you talk to Mr. Holmes and work it
Okay,
out.
so, if I can say, so we'll be all talking, so even within that hour,
Okay.
we can get a staff there, whomever, or a kid, high school kid, or whatever, give them a summer job, whatever it is. But my question, after that, Mr. Holmes, after that hour though, you could cut it off. Can it turn back on again at
When
another
it cools down.
time?
How long does it take to drain?
It's gonna shut down, the water gonna start coming, then you have to turn it off and let it prime back up again.
Okay, so my question
that's
is,
Yeah.
so my question is, so say for 11, what did you got, 10, 12?
Yeah,
So
it's not
say
very
from
many
like
days left.
12 to 1,
Mr. Holmes.
and then go again, say like 3 to 4.
You know how to prime
Something
it?
like that.
Angie.
I say Mr. Holmes can show me how to do it, and I can maintain that hour and let them do something to keep them from the marina. I would do that to keep the kids from the marina, because I don't want nobody to get drowned in that pool.
It looked like we could get 2 hours in
That's what I'm
easy.
saying.
You started,
11
Let
to
it
12.
cool
let them
down.
play for an hour, you're gonna take another hour to reprime. So you
Turn it
got
back
an
on.
hour
He said it don't
in
take
between,
an hour
and
to
have a
reprime.
second
How long
hour.
does it take to reprime?
Yeah.
So just an hour.
Yeah. So you just tell the kids that they gotta sit out because you know you get cramps and all that. That's
So-
what my mother
Just
used to
put
tell
a
me.
schedule, just put a
Put it
schedule.
on
Yeah.
put it on the web page.
Put it on schedule and put it, post it up there saying from 1 to 2, 2 to
So
3.
is this Monday through Friday?
Even if it ain't
No,
but
you
3
gotta have
days,
it
I
the
mean,
weekend.
3 days a week is great to me. I mean, it's
Until
a
we get it
start.
fixed.
Yeah.
Until we get it fixed.
At least the kids will have someplace to go
So
and
I have to
something to do.
identify, fund to take it from for the water bill, because we're gonna anticipate a.
Again,
good
you're only
size.
talking about 2 hours a
Yeah.
day for 3 days a week, so I know what I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying, because there's a leak.
Yeah, because it runs off instead of recirculating back through, which is why it loses the prime.
Last 2 years.
It leaks worse when it's on, but even off, there continue to be a leak in the system.
That's why I can't maintain prime, because it's leaking somewhere in the ground, it's causing.
There is a leak detector, there's a company that does leak detection.
They never built it right.
So,
What'd they say?
And they couldn't pinpoint the leak, the site?
so let's pinpoint days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Huh?
All right.
I think that'd be wonderful. At least the kids will have
And
someplace to
then,
go this.
I'll talk to you after this.
Yeah.
If we got a volunteer or staff to do it, I would at least have at least one SAD in there.
Yeah.
2 days in the week and one SAD would be nice to have.
But
Okay,
it
so you're
goes back to
saying,
say what Commissioner
Mon-
Perez said, that once they come and do it, this been 10 years, and that thing been out of thing commission for a while. We've been talking about the splash pad for a long time. So, but it's been there 10 years.
And
So
they've
whoever
always
built it ain't
talked
never
about
did
the
it.
same, it only needs a part.
The bottom line, I think we say we're gonna look
We're gonna
at
fix it,
replacing
right?
the whole
Yeah.
pad, but temporarily, we need to give these kids something.
Yeah,
something
place to play.
This
That's
weekend.
okay, so the hours of operation, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Saturday.
And then you guys were saying 11 to 12 and
Yeah.
1 to 2?
Yeah.
12.
Well,
Because it needs to,
Yeah.
it needs to shut down for 45?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we will
And then we put
do
it
that.
out on the website and YouTube it and all that so people will know. Take their kids over there.
It can be 11 to 12 and 1 to 2, because you need an hour in
11 to
between.
12, 2 to 3.
To the
11 to 12, 2 to 3, because you gotta have the hour for the cool down.
Right, 12 to 1 it cools down.
Right, you have to have an hour in
But
between.
that's what he said, 11 to 12, and then 1 to 2. You had 12 to 1 cool
Yeah,
down.
Monday, Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah. You got it?
And,
Mr. Lucas, that's a
Miss
good
A-
one, how you got it, that's a good schedule.
11 to 12, 1 to 2.
11 to 12.
Monday, not Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Friday,
And-
Saturday
and-
is the best day.
Monday and Wednesday.
Mr. Holmes is gonna let us know how soon we'll be operational.
Think
Mr.
they're gonna do it
Holmes,
Monday, Wednesday, and
you're gonna let us
Okay,
know if we can be
Wednesday,
operational as
Friday,
early as
Saturday.
Saturday, right?
Friday, don't say it.
Okay.
Angela don't work on Saturday,
Eh.
you're gonna have to have somebody, you're gonna have to have somebody watching that on Saturday.
Saturday, there's nothing to
They
do.
don't come up there on Saturday, they come through the week.
Monday, Wednesday.
Yeah,
That's
Monday,
because
Wednesday.
nobody's
They
home.
don't come up there on Saturday, they come through the week.
Yeah, because their parents are not home and they
Down
sneak.
there through the week, now I work down there through the week, through the week would be better.
Monday,
than
Wednesday.
Saturday.
Monday, Wednesday,
Through
Friday?
the week,
Monday,
don't
Wednesday,
do
Friday.
Saturday, 'cause they
Monday,
don't
Wednesday,
come
Friday
up
then.
there. They might skip, but they don't come.
I'll
up
charge
there.
them a quarter to come get in my pool.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yes, ma'am. And you available for those periods of time from,
Through the week.
I'm trying to lock this in, ma'am. Be patient. So, 11 to 12, 1 to 2.
Good, good.
And we're shooting for Monday, the 12th.
Yes.
Sir,
And put it out there tomorrow.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes, sir.
Make the children happy, Mr. Holmes.
eh,
He'll do it.
so then, to redo the splash pad, we want to look at it in the 22 budget or the 23 budget then to replace the
No,
splash pad?
22, because it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Next season, they need to have that ready.
Yeah,
You
so
talking
they
about
can have it
redoing a
like
whole
over
pad from the
Christmas break
They looking at
and
that, that's gonna cost you about
Easter break.
$200,000-$300,000, $400,000.
Well, we got to plan it. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm
that's
just
what I'm
saying.
saying.
So,
So
okay,
put it in the
so
plan, 20.
add a grid to, say, replace,
And make it large.
I
the
mean,
splash pad.
it'll be the.
And we're gonna do that in the 23
resurface, because the,
the
I
22,
mean, you
23
already
year.
have,
When you make it bigger, better, that's the thing is.
yeah, but it's not like starting new, is
No,
what
no,
I'm
no,
saying.
leave that there. That's
You gotta
temporary,
replace the
starting,
pipes and all
yeah,
that,
so we're gonna do
but
a
everything's
temporary
already there.
water thing, starting July the 12th, Monday.
Monday.
Yep, problem solved.
That's coming with air, I guess the pumps and the machine and.
All right.
Yes,
so
for that
add
price, they
replacement.
better make it where you can just look at it and it starts by itself.
yeah, because in Weston, we built them all around the community and it was like nowhere near that. Yeah,
But we need a nice one.
yeah.
All right, we got 4 more sheets to go. What, you want a break for a minute or we?
No,
No,
sir,
'cause
I
we gotta get out of here by
sir.
9.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, so, all right, Marina, Public Park, North Side,
So I'm confused. I thought we were gonna do all infrastructure and that this year and then move everything else to like the following years. Is that not what we're doing?
The fourth quarter is what we're doing.
The infrastructure is the fourth quarter?
We're doing that down there,
we're
whatever
gonna
that
do
is.
the temporary fix infrastructure wise. First, we're gonna, AJ and I are gonna go and identify all the stuff throughout the city and do a listing and then make calls to get covers.
Okay,
To at least do that, and then whatever we can jackhammer to knock that, because we got, like I said, Evel Knievel ramps, so, you know,
Yeah.
we gotta get that knocked down and remove the danger,
okay.
so,
And that's all fourth quarter. I just wanna make
Yeah.
sure I understand
yeah,
the
so
structure.
that,
Okay,
that's
I'm
what we're
good,
trying
I'm
to do in the
good.
fourth quarter.
Okay,
Not to back up on that, but round McClure, is that McClure, where the manhole done lifted up out of, I think that's McClure and going down there. Amarillo, and I hit it one night, and I have a truck. And I hit, and it's up out the ground.
Are we
And I know
getting that
because normal,
redone?
And I know things settle. I
We're
know
getting
things-
that redone.
So
McClure
what-
But I'm
Road is
just
getting
saying, just for
redone.
a fix, because I hear them, because there's no light, I hear
Yeah,
it
I
one
mean,
night.
that's terrible right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a way that we could just get tar, you know, they could come in?
McClure is where the fire department,
Yeah,
right
Going around
past
the,
the
going
fire
around that
department.
bend?
Go on down in there. That's McClure Road that goes all the way down.
I know they fixed the one that was out there on Seminole Court, but I think if it just sits so high up off the ground.
You're saying just pour some tar or
Pour some
something,
tar
some of
around
that,
it.
maybe when they do the milling on Barfield Highway, maybe we can get them to go over there with some
Are we
milling.
doing that now?
What?
They're not doing McClure now?
No,
When
that's
are they
next
doing
year.
McClure?
Next year.
A year from now.
Yeah.
McClure, you can't even talk about the.
Don't we have the money?
No, it's allocated, we don't have it yet.
Oh.
You
It's,
can't even do the planning till 2022,
Yeah.
23. Can't get done about 2024.
I know where I live at, when the men's came and digged up that nail.
Yeah.
They're not done with that. That's a project that's still on. That's the East Lake
Okay,
project.
but you know that's more than me, cause you know I had
Mhm.
no training, that's how I lost my first trailer.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
that's East Lake, but
Yeah.
that's why they fixing that because of the flooding.
Okay, so like now when the rain
15,
coming now, I'm still getting the flood in this.
Whereabouts?
Still flooding back in there.
But you know what? They're supposed to, that bid said that they were supposed to, where needed, they were replace
The pipe.
the pipes, and they haven't been doing that. If those pipes are not big enough, they need to put bigger ones,
36 inch.
because they're getting stuck again, they're getting full again.
Yeah, but I got in touch with my landlord, I'm loving what y'all doing, got them doing that, but I got in touch with my landlord, because where the trailer at, I can't speak for nobody, I have to speak for me, but where my trailer at, by it's old and it's low where it's set, the property is old, which the ground is low, which the water cover. I don't wanna go back what I went through in 217.
Right.
That's why, because the canal doesn't drain, so when it rains, the water comes to the
Comes
street.
back to your street,
But
yes.
by fixing all that and the water draining, it won't get stuck and it won't come to
The
you.
trees are going over
Yeah.
the
And then they
electricity.
blow because the ground is wet.
The
Yeah.
ground is wet, so it's sinking.
Right.
And the electricity is going over the trees.
Mm-hmm.
That's FPL.
This
Yeah.
is the trail I'm in now.
Yeah.
Well, to fix that, you can't do anything about that, 'cause that's private property out there. But what they are doing, as we stated, the East Lake project. The East Lake project is going all the way around, correct me, Ms. Allen, they're gonna go all the way around, even where there's not even the canal that was covered, they're gonna dig out and create a canal.
No.
So there will not be,
But it's not creating a canal, they need
did
to
we
put
get-
the
But wait, I'm
pipes.
not, all of that is gonna get done, the pipe, if you notice out there, I see they even dug up some of the old big concrete, things already. But from what I taught, all of that, all the way around, correct me, is gonna go from there all the way around to East Lake Village. All of that is gonna be dug out, and where the canal was,
Back to
where they were
Green's
backing
Ditch.
up, and it's, all of that is gonna, once they finish that, there won't be no flooding in that area.
That's right.
Now, once that, your issue is, where you at is very low, but that's privately owned, so your landlord will need to build it up.
Okay.
Cause that is privately owned.
But-
I own the trail, I just have.
But I'm saying the ground is privately owned.
But Miss Adams, did we find out if they can put the pipe in there?
So I do have the scope, so I'm looking at the scope. We'll have to come back to the commission because it will change the cost of the dollars. So
Okay.
also
But if they put that 36-inch pipe in there from what they explained to us, if they can put that pipe in there and then cover it up, there won't be a ditch there anymore and it'll drain the way it's supposed to.
Okay, let me
We
say,
looked at asking about slip lining too, to really make the water go through
just have
fast.
to remember, that's the EP funds and we have 750. And the bid that contractor has a contract for a certain amount, so I have to be cautious.
5 and change, right? So there's a couple of $100,000 in
A
there.
couple hundred, but remember, if we get one change order, they may get in there and discover something else.
okay,
But if
here,
we do one thing correctly, then that's gonna be something, we don't have to go back in 3 years and do it again and do it again and do it again.
here's my point, okay, here's my point. we have an engineer, okay? That's what the engineer is for. If you go in there and you're an engineer, you know what size pipe you gotta put from the get. Why are we now doing change orders? Because what he figures is not big enough and you need something bigger.
So,
You gotta do it right from the first because he gets paid very well.
understood that. So the change order that just came to me was because something that was discovered once they got down there and discovered that this is what needs to take place. And then conversations that they have had saying that, we've identified this was brought to our attention, so we have a change order now that broadens the perspective. And like I said, even when we did Glade Citizens Villa, we had to come back with change orders because the way that, where those pipes were tied into, it wasn't flowing. So, and that's with any project, change
Something
happens.
they don't see until they get in the ground.
The change order is to
I
put the
just
pipe
have,
in.
yeah, I know, but I have a problem with this thing, like, okay, cause they were anticipating that they might find something before they even started the job. And that, to me, that's not transparency. Like I told you, we do bids all the time. So when you go out and bid, if that's what you do for a living, you got experience and you know how much it's gonna take. You do your numbers according to the size, the job, the materials, everything you're gonna need. You do your bid and you turn it in. You lock in that bid. It doesn't matter what I find in there. I have to, if I have to lose money, I lose money because that's how I got the bid. That's how I was the lowest bidder. So that's on the bidder, not on the contractor to put up more money. So that's where I have the problem with the bids in this city.
So the money source is from DEP. So they've been gracious enough to let us have up to $750,000. So right now the cost is about 500 some thousand.
It's a little bit more than that. We have to change order.
Okay.
So I'll be bringing the change order back.
Also,
For what,
I need.
for that same project? For East Lake?
They
Yes,
were at
ma'am.
what, 545?
I think it was 550 something around there.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's still
There's a
a
couple
balance
hundred in there.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, and the original loan, or the original grant was 765?
750.
750? I thought it was 765.
So that's the reason why you always get the lowest bid, because then you don't know, they can come and do what you say and do, but even a plumber, yes, this is what it takes, this is kind of pipes you use, but they really don't know until they get down in your ground. This infrastructure is so old here in the city,
But
they don't know.
But this is what you do,
Wait.
this is what the engineer does.
Wait.
You know when those pipes were put there, you know what the pipes were made from. Just like when you do a house. If you're gonna renovate a house and you know the house was built in 1925, you put your contingency on the side because you know you're gonna find stuff in there that you could have termites, you put it aside. Okay?
Right, that's
Put it in
Because
your
you
bid.
know you
Lowest bid.
anticipate it. But that's what people do when they bid. You know what I mean?
They got the 750.
Right, that's what I'm saying, that's why it's the
So,
seven.
but they should have, like, Realback should have bid it instead of 400 when you have 750. Okay, no, I'm gonna bid 500. Okay, because then that's where you go, where you run into the problem.
But Miss Sarah, it's just like if you walk out the door right now, something could happen. You have no control over that. With those pipes, with our infrastructure, it is old, and you have to remember that, the
I understand that.
District, Palm Beach County, so it's not something that was done intentionally, it's something that just occurred. As we know out here, we have flooding issues. Once we try to bring that up and level it off, we may get down and discover, ooh, we got a whole lot more issues.
But what I'm saying, Ms. Adam, that is not on us.
That's on the bid.
That's on the architect, the engineer, if it's a bid, the engineer have to take in consideration, okay, infrastructure hasn't been fixed. Instead of saying it's gonna be 500, it's gonna be $1 million, okay? You get 500, then you know you're not gonna be able to do everything you wanna do, or maybe the area, or maybe you do different phases. You go back for another grant, but that's the thing, when he gets the money, and then when you bid it out, you gotta bid it out, saying what it is, what's the scope, what's gonna take, and then if I bid, like I said, I might bid $5, she bids $10, she bids $15. If I bid $5 and it's gonna cost me $20, I cannot come to you and say, oh, I bid it $5, but now it's gonna take 15 more, because that's not fair to the one that bid it for a different price.
Who included that?
So Commissioner Perez, now,
That's why you bid.
like Tyrone did my pipe busted. Tyrone, you remember the front of the house? And I ain't gonna put it on front, but my pipe busted. He came to fix one thing, but when he got there, all my piping was old. So should he have fixed my pipe and just left the old pipe there, and I'm gonna have this problem again? Because
No, but he told you, didn't he tell you?
But he had already given me a price. But
Right.
but I had to go up because that wasn't his fault.
Right, but he told you, I'm gonna fix this, but you got all this.
After
Do
you got
know
in
how
there, though.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't find
But
out
do
he
you
got
want
there, but
me
he
to
had
fix
already
this?
given me an upfront price though.
Yeah.
So that means I had to pay for it. He couldn't just eat it.
Commissioner, Commissioner Perez, I ain't trying to be here all night. Let's move on.
Yeah,
I understand. I understand. We didn't bid it. It was a project that we gained assistance on.
We did bid it.
You bid it,
We
but the
did
thing
bid
about
it.
it, you have to take our problem, we have to take the
But we
lowest
use
bidder.
it.
Well,
You see what I'm saying? That's the
hopefully we can find some best practice dealing with bidding and incorporate some of those.
That this one's got 200, this one's got 300, but.
Yeah, it's almost 9, so let's try
Yeah, we
to
need to
wrap
wrap
up.
it up in a,
What's
yeah.
it gonna entail?
Good night, ma'am.
You know that we underbid it.
One thing I have to show my back. I just wanted to make one comment about one thing, but it's not to the budget, if it's okay.
Yeah.
Quick announcement,
I
okay.
just wanted to ask one question. When he was going over, City Manager Lucas was going over the rank of items importance, guess that's what page? In this first little book he gave us, that's page what? Let me see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, page 7, where it says, rank items of importance. You see right on there where it says he has the theme or tagline for the city? Okay, I just want to ask a question, because I know the Grassy Waters, Gateways to Lake Okeechobee, we had some students. The community, the commission, and everybody agreed on that. So I guess I'm kind of confused, and I want to ask a question. So are we saying now that we want to go back and change what our kids participated in, or what is it? Explain this to me, what is?
Him being new,
He
he
didn't know.
consistently saw two type of themes going out there, and he just wanted clarification whether we wanted one or the other,
Right.
or try to utilize both, or whatever the case
Yeah,
might be.
like, so I see
Yeah,
it
he's
on
not
some
actually saying.
stationery and some stationery I don't.
Right.
So I just wanted direction because
So
we want to move to a different direction, a different vision.
I would like to see us just use the thing, the Grassy
The
Waters
Grassy
that the
Waters Gateway.
kids and the community
Yeah.
came up
Because
with.
that's what I thought we were
Yeah,
using.
that's
That's what I
what's on
thought
our
we were
sign
using.
when
So
you
that's
pull
why I was
out.
kind of
Now,
confused. I
that
wanted to
would
ask
be the
about that.
theme, but the other
like
theme,
subtopic.
when you talk about building a community and city of choice,
No, I.
That's just something we talk about. That's just something we say when we talk and we want Pahokee to be a city of choice.
Yeah, I
know
use it
that's
all the
something we talk
time
about when we're selling
in my little
Pahokee.
presentation,
But
so-
I just thought our
Yeah,
theme
the
was
main
the grass
theme would
water.
be the theme that
Grass
you're
and water
referring to,
gateway,
where the
gateway.
kids
Yeah,
voted
it's
Right.
done all the
and
paperwork
Right.
and everything.
That's,
That
And
should
that
be it.
should be at the
That's what I
entrance,
thought that
just
we
like
agreed to when this
Belgrade
happened.
So
has.
Yes.
Our
It's on the
soil is
sign.
whatever.
Yeah. So I didn't know
Yeah,
anything
we're-
about the
we're-
second
yeah.
one, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
wanted to, and my last final question before I leave, I wanted to ask, on that same page, what does he mean? I don't understand brand options, agriculture community, bedroom community to West, I guess I needed some clarification.
So marketing, how are we gonna sell ourselves?
Right.
Okay,
What you wanna lead with?
okay.
Except for bedroom community to West Palm Beach, we do everything else. But we really want to be tourism. I would think.
I would think.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
To not just agriculture.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
No.
Right, okay. And my
Agriculture,
last
we-
question.
You've got
And my
agriculture,
last
which
question
is,
was on that same page where it says
rural
types of
agriculture.
business to recruit to Pahokee. I'm glad to see all of this, but my question is, and I know majority of our land here in Pahokee is privately owned. And we see Belglade growing, but I've gone to Belglade because I want to know, okay, they say Belglade growing, Pahokee is not growing. And what I found in questioning, the private owners over there are deciding to do something with their land. So my question is, all of this is good, but how are we gonna get the land? Because the city don't have but those few acres we have back there. So all of this sounds good. I wanna know what is the commission and the city's plan as far as getting private, because we're gonna have to go to the private people because most of the land in Pahokee is owned privately, and we know that. So what is our plan? What are we going to do? And I've been here back now 7 years, and I keep hearing we want to bring all of this to Pahokee. It sounds good. Where are we gonna get the land from? Where are we gonna get the buildings from to do it? Because all our land is tied up. It's privately owned. So I would like to know, what is the commission's plan and what is the city manager's plan in meeting with some of these private partners? I mean, I look at our front of Pahokee where Valentine has his shop at, Miss Rhonda, not Miss Rhonda, Miss Philco, who had her little shop. That's a nice inviting to come downtown, but who own these? Well, we can rephase them, you know, make them inviting, make them warm. I know we can't make people do anything because they're privately owned. So my question still is, what is this commission and the city manager gonna do to bring these people to the table? We have a flower shop there that's been sold, nothing is happening to it. Nothing, it's just sitting there. Yes, I know somebody privately owns it, but why is it not opening as a functioning flower shop? We don't even have a flower shop here in the Glades. The one in Belglade closed, but we have one sitting right up there. Nothing is being done with it. So that's my question. What are we gonna do with all these businesses we have that's just sitting there? Nothing is being done with them. That's what I would like to see. That's how I think we're going to grow if we bring these owners to the table.
Right.
That's my question. Juan, I remember you ran and you said you had all these people that you were going to bring here. I'm waiting to see them to get started. I'm waiting.
And everything's a process.
I'm waiting.
It's a process.
Well, give us an update. You know how you guys come up here. You know how you all come up here. You all say be transparent. Give us an update.
Right. Well, I'm
I
giving
hear
an
you
update.
all.
The flower
Okay.
shop, somebody is interested. I'm working with somebody in reference to the flower shop. Where Val has his place right there, the guy who owns it lives in West Palm. Yes, I've been keeping contact with him, so I don't have to say every day, this is what I'm doing every day, this is what I'm doing every day. No, it's a process.
I'm not saying every day.
We've been on here 3 months.
I know. Okay, so can I say this? So in the 3 months, though, what I'm saying, and you know, I don't have anything against any other commissioners up here. I talk with all the commissioners. Yes, you've been here 3 months,
Right.
but I haven't heard one time anything you've said about no projects that you're going to, and I've sat back really, let me just say, and I sat back real quiet.
in 3 months.
We've been bickering at everybody. We want to fire people. We want to do this. I don't want to hear about any of that. I don't care
We're
about
not even
that.
here for this. We're
I
here
want
for
to
the
know about the
workshop.
projects, and that's what I'm talking about, the
You're supposed
projects.
to be a part of the process. I didn't have this function to come here and argue. So let's
I'm not
cut it.
arguing, I'm
Let's
just
cut
asking
it.
about the projects that are
So-
going to come
so
to the city.
right
That's
now-
all I'm,
Hey, NDA, when you're working with a private investor, he doesn't want everybody to know, so you have to call an NDA. You cannot talk about it until they want you or they let you talk about it.
That's right.
So we cannot tell you what we're doing until it's time to let you know what we're doing. But
Okay,
in
that's
3
fine.
months,
Hold on.
I'll tell you, we're working on stuff that it hasn't been done here in 10 years, so give us time.
okay, that's all I'm saying, just like, we're working on some
Yes,
things.
we
I didn't
are
ask you to
working
tell me
on
what
some
you're working on,
Sam,
but we
what-
are working on bringing
Sam,
projects
all
to
of
the
us
city.
are working
That's all I was asking, I'm
All-
not fussing
all-
or
all
arguing.
points.
What's a little bit transparency? Manager, am I not working on projects?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All points well taken. The meeting, the workshop
So
was,
hold on.
We are.
I ain't fussing or arguing, I'm just.
No,
Ma'am.
right.
Ma'am, what happened to my meeting at 2 o'clock today
I
with
was
you?
at the hospital at 2 o'clock today, and the only reason I'm here tonight to walk is because the doctor was able to give me a shot. I just had surgery 3 months ago, and I was going to, come by City Hall. You were not there when I stopped by. You were not there. And so if you ask Commissioner Mervin, because she the one had to take me to the hospital this morning.
Okay, I hate to cut everybody off, but the meeting time have elapsed, and it should be adjourned. We're gonna continue this at a later date. Thank
Yeah,
everyone for
it was
coming.
very interesting to be continued.
Yeah. You know what, on Avenue A, he got a design